Okay.
Get it,
Mode.
Katina, man. Get it, Katina, man.
Coming off a positive session here to start the week, Nvidia shares back to the upside here this morning ahead of the biggest earnings report, arguably, of this quarter to come after the close tonight. We'll hear from Jensen and crew on how things went in this quarter. A lot of people with actually mixed opinions on how this could go. Reading a little bit this morning on a few analysts suggesting that they could actually disappoint. So we'll see how things pan out. But so far, so good. Up about 0.7 right now for Nvidia shares. Overall, the market looking pretty good to start things off here so far this morning. Pulling back a little bit after the move higher after the close yesterday. But we'll see how things play out so far for the market, though. We are looking at more Fed-related headlines specifically. Will he or won't he be able to fire a Fed member to insert his own Trump? We're talking about, obviously. UNH, yeah, big move down end of the day yesterday. The DOJ expanding their investigation into this company. Just an ugly, ugly chart once again. 300 coming into play once again here for UNH. This thing just can't get out of its own way.
No, Brendo, it's a tough look, and we already knew that they were being investigated for their Medicare billing practices. Looks like the investigation is going to take that a bit further. We'll get to that, I guess, on the rundown. Lots to talk about today, guys. As Brendo mentioned, Nvidia in focus, and yeah, expectations are quite high. They grew revenue last year in Q2 at 122%. Now we're talking about 50%. So the growth looking a little bit more, normal now, Brendo, with a lot of big movers this morning. MongoDB up almost 30% on a fantastic earnings report. Likewise with Kohl's, Brendo, breaching that 20% mark above $15. Looking good for a couple of earnings names from yesterday.
This Musk XAI and OpenAI spat continues to go back and forth as well. It's not going to affect the stock at all, but from a privacy standpoint and from a competition standpoint, very interesting story. I mean, Tesla's had a couple of really, really good days here too. And last week, and then going into the close yesterday, we're right back to 352 here for Tesla.
And Musk is doing everything that he can to try to hide as much of the communications relating to his failed acquisition of OpenAI back earlier this year. Looks like Sam Altman and crew, because they countersuing Musk, right, for harassment and damaging their company. They want to see exactly what was discussed between Zuckerberg and Musk, and they want to see the nature of it in the plan. Musk, for his part, is basically saying, you guys have had enough of the communications already. You don't need to expand it. It's more of a fishing expedition. OpenAI's lawyers disagree.
Yeah, a few weak spots. Weak spots. I say that questionably. Chinese ADRs downside a little bit here, specifically the EV names this morning under a little bit of pressure. They've had a really nice run up. Back on the Nvidia note, it's coming back in a little bit here right now, but I mentioned this yesterday. A lot of people still pointing to the simple fact that all these major tech companies essentially raise their CapEx going into next year on their earnings report. We obviously hear from Nvidia last. So from that standpoint, things should be not bad, but China, the focus, I think.
You're bang on with that, because we already got all the Mag 7, well, for the exception of Nvidia, telling us how much they're going to spend on CapEx. So they telegraphed that. But that's the video I made yesterday on TikTok. I talked specifically about China, because the deal is with this one.
It's aggressive banging.
Well, here's the deal, Brendo. They got the H20. And they were so pumped that they got authorization from Donald to be able to sell the H20 again in China. Then all of a sudden, the Chinese regulators like, to their tech companies, do not use the H20. It's compromised. So then all of a sudden, there's a B30A China-specific variant based on the Blackwell architecture that's going to make it to China. So my question is, if they're not buying the H20 because they're thinking it's compromised, what makes you think they're going to buy the B30A? Is it going to be less compromised? I don't get it.
Yeah. And most of the questions he's going to face are going to be on that specifically going into this earnings call tonight. So lots to look forward to, guys. Good morning.
Morning. The Super Bowl of earnings is here tonight. Snowflake.
I'm actually I'm excited for it, but the thing is like, it's what they just talked about there. It's 6% implied move. I think it's going to be, it's a $4.4 trillion name.
Yeah, what are you going to do? And they beat like 11 of the last 12, and a third of the time it doesn't really even do a positive move on that beat. So I think at the end of the day, you temper your expectations. I think it's more,
Where's the Nasdaq
we just want the numbers to support the AI growth story, because that's a rising tide that has been lifting all shit. For like, it's what it means for the rest of the market, more so than maybe what it means tonight and tomorrow for Nvidia stock. Let's be real about that. Not good for PayPal news.
Yeah, I saw that. What's up with that?
German. I don't know. Apparently, some security issues for PayPal. German banks are essentially halting billions of dollars worth of transfers and payments because there's a security flaw over at PayPal. That was a stock that was already relatively weak. So this is one that I want to look for some places to be fading it. Just on a day like today, where everyone's looking at the AI space, the chip space, I feel like it might be difficult for this one to get going on some bad news. And they've been relatively weak anyways with PayPal. That's just disappointing. You look at those April lows. I mean, up is up. But if you're only up like, what is that, $16? Like 30% from the April lows, that's not going to cut it. That's not very good. And it's already down significantly from its local high. So yeah, there's a lot to look at today. I will say this. I cannot believe how cold it was this morning. It was like 11 degrees or when I got out the door. Fall is here.
Yes, thankfully.
That also means
Love fall.
the baseball playoffs can start.
Yes.
NFL next week.
Yes, the biggest.
That'll be big for. Obviously, it's always big for DraftKings. I don't know.
We have a slow draft starting today.
Oh, you have your second draft starting today?
I should have told you I made a huge deal last night. I traded Barkley.
You traded? Okay.
Yeah. But I got pick 5 and 11.
Okay, so
I figured like at 5,
dynasty?
and I got Jalen Warren. Yeah. So my idea is to see if I can get Caleb somewhere at 5, maybe. I know I want to take him at 11. I don't know. I'm going to see the way it goes, and then I'll pair him with Jalen Warren. Then I can get like a Buka, or I'll figure out who I can get at 11, or my boy Golden, or somebody like that. Just to have some fun.
You got to have Golden.
So I wound up doing that. So last night. And it's our first ever slow draft, because we left it too long and people can't get together this weekend. Yeah, so it should be fun. So we're going to do that, talking about fantasy football here today. But yeah, it should be a good one. You know, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We want to thank Obi for all of his time coming through here. Neil and I should be here for a minute, so that should be fun. You had a fun day yesterday?
5 minutes.
What did you guys do yesterday?
Well, it was my wife's birthday yesterday, so like, really, I just wanted to, it was making her day easier. Like, she had to work, and I'm like, you know what?
Oh, she had to work?
Like, my daughter goes to a coding camp this week.
Oh, that's fun.
Which is a bit, it's an hour, there's like half an hour there and back. So my wife was in the office yesterday. So, like, it's a bit, it's a stress bucket to try and go back, drop, get downtown, then she has to leave work early, and then she'll have to work late at night because she missed a couple of hours doing that. So I said, no, you're not doing any of that stuff. I'm going to take the day off, and I'll take care of Erin, and I'll pick her up, all that stuff, and then we went out to dinner. We do our big thing over the weekend, though. We always do like her birthday thing.
The middle of the week is tough. Well, actually,
we still went out for some Italian food.
Oh, good. That's nice. What did you have?
Well, I had like a seafood.
Oh yeah, like a linguine,
Yeah,
seafood
linguine. My daughter predictably had spaghetti
pasta.
meatball.
Yeah.
Because the first night,
my kids would have had the seafood. I think.
First night we were in Rome, we had this like, she got like something else, but I got spaghetti and meatballs. Well, like the two just gigantic, just delicious. She saw mine and was like, "Daddy, that's what I want." So now if we go to an Italian restaurant, she wants the spaghetti and meatballs, but with the big meatballs. And she's like, "Yeah, give me 2." She's like, "The kids comes with 1." I'm like, "She wants 2."
Yeah, exactly. Get her, maybe even get her 3. It's funny. Someone said market closed on Monday. Yeah, last night Marissa and I were lying around, and I was just like, "Yeah, it's nice. I have Monday off." And she's like, "Do you have Labor Day off?" And I was like, "Pretty sure we have Labor Day off." And I was like, I said it so confidently when we first talked. I was like, "Of course we have Monday off. What do you think?" Obviously, and she's like, "You do?" And I was like, "Wait a second." And then, we had to check. And I was like, "Yeah, we have it off." It's only been 26 years. I would have. You think I would have remembered that? But yeah, happy Labor Day to everybody in a couple days. So we have lots to go until then. But yeah, no work on Monday. So 4-day week again next week, man. The fall is the best. So not only that, we have Sunday Night Football you mentioned, and then you got everything. So Monday is going to be a lot of fun here. And then we have, of course, Nvidia earnings. Man, banana but no coffee though, Randy.
But I already got a banana.
Ha ha!
I thought he was going to bring a plum or a nectarine or something.
Yeah, the plums yesterday were, they're different plums, but they were pretty juicy.
Oh, okay.
They were very, very juicy. Tesla breaking out through 350 as well, so that should be fun here today. Here it is.
They did that at the close yesterday.
Yeah, they did right at the close, literally right at the close. Yeah, Obi and I were watching it, and there was the break there. I didn't take it because it was just on the imbalance. So it was 350 happened, and then it blasted higher. They're up to 353. So we'll see. You know, because if Lisa Cook loses her job, then Tesla's obviously going down. What a joke this whole Lisa Cook thing is. I don't know why it's even affecting the market at all. I don't think it is. But we'll see about Fed independence, always going to be questioned. And with Donald Trump banging around, we got to see what happens with that. And actually, let's just have a quick check on here. Last night it was 88%. There it is. Now we're at 90% possible Fed rate cut. That got up to 70 mid last week, by the way. Now up to 90%. You should be able to gamble against this. Well, I guess you can. You can bet the rates. So 90% right there. So 90% chance of that rate cut. We're excited to see if that is happening. Yeah, okay. All right, 11,100. Yesterday we were at 111111111 with Bitcoin. There was a 6 mixed in there somewhere, but today 11111142. So nice little number there for Bitcoin, battling off that 109. We'll see if that continues to work out. Solana, I was worried when we paid $200 for that thing. Now we're over 205, something like that. As Solana is the one that's going right now, actually, out of all the cryptocurrencies. So here we go right there. It's not going anywhere, but it's 204, up 13%, which is nice. Bitcoin down on the week. Ethereum had that huge run, now pulling back. Now it's 45, so it takes out that 48.5, goes up to 5,000 roughly, depending on what exchange you're looking at. Then there's Solana there, and then the other big guy is Cardano. And then we also had XRP up 4%. So, you know, right now it's Bitcoin just chilling out, down 2 and a bit over the week, and the other guys are the ones picking it up just a bit. So we'll find out where crypto goes today, and we'll be talking all about that. But let's go over back to the desk and see what's going on with the boys and what they want to talk about.
Just hearing Boeing popping up here. Nice, I mean, $1 and change. Not a lot of volume here, but a nice couple of days anyways for Boeing. Higher on that Korea headline, if you missed it. South Korea with 50 billion as of Friday coming through in orders for Boeing. I mean, the strike, there's a headline on the strike this morning, going to run right through the long weekend. They're essentially not even going to talk until the end of the long weekend. Ryanair did get a few deliveries prior to this, it sounds like, that were unexpected. A little bit earlier than expected, I guess, but Boeing up here.
Yeah, and they're praising the possible accelerated delivery schedule that Boeing's touting now. And we'll have to wait to see if they get the authorization from the FAA. There's another Boeing headline. This time, the Trump administration possibly wants to take, yes, a stake in Boeing. They're talking about taking a stake in these defense names. Palantir is included in that list, guys, as well as Lockheed Martin. And this kind of data point really struck me. 97% of Lockheed's revenue actually comes from the U.S. government. Obviously, it's not the same for Boeing, but it's interesting to see that they're getting a lot more involved now, Brendo, from an equity stake. We'll have to wait and see whether the shares, if they pick up shares in Boeing, are going to have voting or non-voting privileges. We'll see.
I saw there was a comment. I forget who it was this morning, but one of the cabinet ministers this morning talking about Nvidia was not on the table as of yet. A stake for the government in Nvidia not on the table as of yet. So they're trying at least, but yeah, I mean, it could be positive here. Boeing, guys, if you zoom out, even the daily chart still looking really good here.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Randy. And
the apple-looking plums.
The plums are good. Have you had one, Randy? Yeah, they're pretty good. Sweet. Over there. Yeah, look, I mean, Boeing on the daily chart is pretty sweet, man. There's not going to be too many better stocks looking than this right now. I mean, what a hold on the 50-period moving average. I mean, we held it there, we held it there, we held it there. Still trying to go higher. Looks like it wants to break out. Actually, I think I should probably add this to the list, man. This is a beautiful stock right there. What does it look like if we expand out just a little bit more? All right, so obviously that 265, we're not too worried about that right now. 242, yeah, it's okay. Just looking, I just think it looks like it's breaking out here. I don't even need to worry about any of this. Just zooming into what we're looking at, Nice move down. I mean, the whole market fell down for a little bit there. Now Boeing picks it back up. Now we get this U.S. government sort of headwind, or tailwind, sorry, talking about taking a stake. I don't think they need to do that, but Boeing doesn't need the cash, I wouldn't imagine. And as they get more and more deals coming through with China, Korea, we had a Korea deal yesterday. I think this is a good name, and I think it continues to work. I mean, I don't know. Do you want to go long on this? It looks fine to me. So I'd say play the pullbacks. I mean, look what the market's doing right now. Whoops.
Pulling back.
This is a pretty nice move down, and Boeing is like, okay, we're fine. So I'd say 235, like yesterday's closing levels there. 235. So yeah, I think Boeing is good. You got the 200 period moving average right there. This looks like a real good opportunity to get going and possibly look at a 240 breakout. So the stock looks pretty healthy to me. I like everything they're talking about. We talked about how much of a monopoly this seems to be. And yeah, Boeing has a chance today to get going. So I like it. It's already been going. So we like Boeing here, I think.
Yeah, 100%. But the overall story, the thing that gets me is, like, isn't it supposed to be that you're taking stakes in companies that need the help and need the capital? Boeing, I'd say, would seem to be past the majority of its issues there. Palantir, like, really? Like, Lockheed, I guess? I don't know. I think I could make some sense of the Intel thing. I just think when you start expanding it to a bunch of companies that are doing just fine, it's like, oh, okay, well,
right.
That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But if it's happening, there's almost no way, unless there's voting rights, for it to end up being a terribly bad thing. Whether it's a road that you want to go down, who cares? But this looks like it's primed. This just feels like a breakout here, and it doesn't have to break out that high from July to be good today. But I like that 235, and even if it loses it, look how good this has been at the 50 period. It's probably worth just picking up when it bounces the 50 period on the daily as well. Yeah, definitely like it here. For sure. The other name that got mentioned there, and Sharif was saying 97% of Lockheed's business is from the U.S. government. But the other important thing, I was just mentioning, ye old 50 period moving average. Well, guess what Lockheed got back above yesterday? Coincidentally enough, the 50 period moving average. So I think it's made its bottom. It's been climbing higher. Looks like it's going to close over that 50 period moving average. Seems like a decent enough catalyst. I don't want to jinx it or anything, but we'll get confirmation today if it's holding 450, and then this has a monster wall in front of $500. So I'd look swing long into this as long as we can close over that 50 period moving average. You wait for something to actually show you a little bit of a bottom. It tried before, couldn't do it, and now like quadruple bottom down at about 420 or so on Lockheed. So that's more on watch for a longer term play. Gentlemen.
All right, a few other things here. Netflix to the downside this morning. There was a negative analyst note. Didn't do anything yesterday. We were talking about YouTube TV and that Fox deal a little bit. Still no word on whether or not they've reached an agreement, but anyone that pays, as Sharif was saying, way too much for YouTube TV could lose Fox channels by the end of the week, but that's not really going to matter, I don't think.
This is a ridiculous amount of money there. I was like, well, what's the point of canceling the cable? My cable bill is less than what they're charging for YouTube TV, and I got 10 times the channels. No, I'm exaggerating for effect, of course, but I didn't really understand all that. But the deal, there seemed to be beef between YouTube and Fox. Fox apparently wants higher than market rates that YouTube has been able to coax other providers into paying, and Fox doesn't really want it. But you can look at Fox and the way the Fox One now is, Fox Nation for their news channel. So they're kind of going their own route there, maybe kind of on purpose, kind of creating this wedge with YouTube. I'm not really sure, but basically an outlier. Brent.
Yeah, there was a couple of lines I was reading about the sports angle as well. There was some... Fox didn't want it on YouTube, and YouTube wanted the sports content, obviously, or the live aspect, obviously, because it's more value. Open door back to the upside here today. Did a really quick 180, ended the day basically at the lows, 450, but we are higher here once again. See a couple people talking about Open again.
I don't wonder if the squeeze name today isn't going to be Kohl's.
Yeah,
Just
KSS,
because,
yeah.
I mean... We'll get to that. One's on the watch list. Like, it's wild. Like last night, someone says that they can't pay their vendors, and that's looking really bad, and then they get a beat across the board on earnings this morning. That seems like it's trapped a few people to the short side and some extra ones. But look, Open, I didn't get a chance to really trade it yesterday, but it managed to hold. I never really tested this 420. So that's a good thing. But what I don't love about it is, remember that 520 from the afternoon on Monday? Yeah, it looks like that still presented the same top. Like it, just should probably put down like 525 here or something. Like if Open gets up to this area into 5.25, probably look fade first. But if it can break out above that price, look long into the top for sure. So yeah, this could be worth a look here on Open. Its volume has been generally good, but it ticked down a little bit, and the pre-market volume is a lot lower than it has been in previous days. So I don't know if this is going to be the one today, but you have it up just in case it can do something with that 525 level. Afternoon Monday, and then yesterday it looked like that was a bit of a double top. You got to break out levels if you want to go squeezing for sure here on Open Door. I don't know if that's going to be the one.
Yeah, Open Door right now only with 23% or so of a short float. So Open Door getting ready to go. We'll see if it can hold that $5 mark right now. But we are ready to go. I think if Joe's ready, he's looking some stuff up here. So let's go over. It's 8:50 right now. It's Joe talking a little bit of options.
First, we're going to start with the upgrades and downgrades, and then we are going to get into some options, guys. All right, so on the upgrades list, we have MongoDB. What a monster move that we experienced on yesterday's earnings report with that price target raised to $280 by BMO Capital, and then Eli Lilly also getting the nod as well too, guys. Price target raised to $700 by HSBC, and then Prologis getting the upgrade by Scotiabank with a price target of $114. Now, Vir Biotech also getting the nod, target raised to $14. Now, on the downside, surprisingly, Okta up 4% on the session with the price target raised to $132 by BMO Capital. Deutsche Bank getting the downgrade as well too by JP Morgan, and then Krispy Kreme D-Nut getting the downgrade as well too, guys. And then Fortune Brands also getting that price target lowered to $60. Now, let's touch on some options here, guys, and the much anticipated earnings report on NVDA. So there is multiple ways that options traders can play this via options, and there's a couple strategies that we can touch on. First, we're going to touch on the straddle. What is the straddle? So essentially, it's two at-the-money an at-the-money call and an at-the-money put. So what is this essentially telling us? We have a 6% expected move. Now, if we have two contracts at the exact same strike, the objective is for one to outweigh the other. But the key importance is, and we talk about this often, is your POP, your probability of profit. What does this look like when you put on this trade? All right, so you can see you have a wider range compared to what a strangle is going to give you because you needed to stay within that range. But the probability of profit is sitting around 43%. So the objective is that one side of your options contract is going to vastly outweigh the other. That is the objective of the straddle. But now, how do we lock in gains when we are trading options in the aftermarket, considering we cannot close or open them? I've told you guys this example before. Well, essentially what you have to do if your call outweighs the other one, to lock in that price, you're going to have to sell shares short, yes, just common stock short against that call position, and it's going to lock in that price. Why? Because if it continues to appreciate, the options contract will, but also your short shares are going to depreciate. So you're going to be stuck in that. And then the opposite goes for the put side. All right. So if it continues to sell, you're going to buy shares against it, and it's going to lock in that price as well, too. All right. So that's one example there on NVDA. One thing to note is that our at-the-money IV is also starting to increase, too. What does that tell us? Okay, well, we're going to be paying a little extra premium for our options contracts. Well, how do we mitigate this, and how can we reduce our costs? It's actually very simple. So if we're avoiding the straddles and strangles and we're just going for single-legged, well, we can also hedge our position. And what is that going to do? Let's do a vertical right now. A vertical spread. All right, so essentially this is going to set it up for us. So you can see if we're gonna buy that at-the-money contract, it's gonna cost us around $560. all right? But with a vertical spread, we're essentially going to hedge our position and also reduce our cost. Well, you say, Joe, why would I do that? Well, there's also a catch as well, too. Because if we hedge and sell a short contract against our long call contract, it's going to cap our max win as well too. But there's ways that we can get around this. If your contract and you open it before the earnings print, you can just close your short contract and allow that call, that long call, to free roam. All right, so let's set this up and then take a look at our profile. So you can also adjust this as well too. This is only a 5-point spread. But at the end of the day, you can see our probability of profit is around roughly 42%. But we have a max return of only $275, but our max loss is only $225. So essentially you're looking at just over a 1-to-1, and that has to be at max potential profit. So the stock will have to trade significantly higher in order for you to reach that goal, but also you'll have the ability to reduce costs and also mitigate your risk as well too. So guys, leading into the earnings report, you have multiple ways, multiple options in which you can construct a profitable earnings report trade, whether it be to the downside or to the top side. Just keep in mind, guys, increase in at the money IV. And if you don't exceed that expected move, you're going to be holding onto some contracts where day by day the volatility is going to decay. So keep that in mind. Close them if you don't exceed it, and let it ride if it does exceed the expected move, guys.
Let it ride. Thank you very much. Again, Joey Chill, Joey Shivers, Joey Options. It's got all the nicknames over here, and they all work. But don't forget, I know everyone's excited for Nvidia earnings, but Snowflake reports tonight too. Don't forget about Snowflake. They count. They matter. They're also up. I mean, look, Mongo's up a bajillion %, but they're up a few points today already in a little bit of a sympathy play. So this one, I mean, ideally, I always want stocks to go up, not down. This is a stock that hasn't gotten back to its 50 period, partly because of the strength. So you can't really call this a bad thing. But it hasn't really broken this little bit of a downtrend that it's in after the high got put in there in the end of July. But what I do like about it is this 200 hold. So it's usually tricky trying to trade things before the earnings come out. But if there's one level, if I start to see that hold at the open, that's probably the only place I even look at Snowflake. Unless something crazy happens and if it gets to 210 before the report tonight, and it's all the way at the 50 period, like, to me, that's just like a fade. But I just don't see it getting all the way up there on Snow. But this is going to be on our radars today and tomorrow for sure. It's not just the Nvidia show. Obviously, they matter the most. But Snowflake, another one that I think it probably has a better chance to do double digits than Nvidia. But that's not really saying much. I think it's easy to say that Snowflake has a better chance to be double digits tomorrow than Nvidia.
Yeah, I sold Snowflake a couple months ago right here at $200, so I'm away from that. But I think if you're going to look at MongoDB and things like that, we talked about MongoDB. By the way, happy birthday, Dogtown. I see you in the chat there. He's mentioning that. We talked about MongoDB yesterday, and yeah, what a huge move. And there it goes again today, up 30%. This thing probably going to take out this 281, man. Software as a service continues to work out. These non-SQL plays here, I don't even really understand what they do, but data parsing and getting it all together, MongoDB continues to work. So there it goes, higher highs. And if you're talking about data these days, it seems to be working. So that would tell me that Snowflake does also have a great opportunity to get going. I don't even think Snowflake makes money, so I'm not part of that trade anymore, but yeah, we'll wait. I think Snowflake does have an opportunity to get into 225 one more time there, which would be about a 10% move higher. So Snowflake on the way up right now, looking pretty good, but you fail on Snowflake tonight, and oh boy, you are going to get hit on this name. I actually like the option to get a put on this. I think the bid takes you up into here somewhere, but they missed tonight, especially with getting a little bump up here from MongoDB and some of those other big data names. I'm looking a lot lower here for Snowflake, maybe into the 160, 165 area. So let's wait to see what winds up happening here. I mean, what, it's 100, but 20 bucks higher is the highs, 20 bucks lower, you're in trouble. So we'll wait. This is, like Neil said, there's a lot of important things happening here today. So Snowflake is one of those names as well. And the sticky note is out. Did I push send on that? Yes, I did. And we like 165. Right here for Palantir. I mean, it's all the way down to 163 right now, but there goes this name up another 1.2%. Nicely carrying the day there off that 50 period. I mean, Brian Shannon and myself talked about this, man. Anything down here, if you're not into Palantir, you had a great opportunity to buy some. It's now up 10% from its lows, or even more than that, man. Its lows was 140 right there. Now you're up to 160, so you're up about 14% or so in a week on Palantir. Not too bad if you're able to bottom pick that, but that was a risky trade. And like you guys know, I got it at 10% there around 160 on Friday. So really happy with that. But all right, so that's Palantir, MongoDB, AMD, Tesla, Boeing, Snowflake. They're all on our minds today. It should be a good one. It's 9 o'clock, so that's really ready to start our rundown. So make sure you do get that description in our link in our description. Grab the watch list, completely free for you. Has all of the names on there that we're going to be focusing on.
Free.
$3.99. Yeah, you gotta get in there, get it, and hey, if you don't like it, unsubscribe. But lots of opportunities there. Get the link in our description for our watch list. All right, let's go back over to the desk and see what the guys are up to.
Don't do that. 64.83, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES September contract. Look at that, baby. We're right at that 6,500 point again. We're melting up. We're near all-time highs. So here's the deal. The overnight high is 89. We're showing 80 currently, so we'll say 6,500, the 100-point area as a resistance. If we sell off for whatever reason, we'll hold that three-quarter point area, 64.75, which is the overnight low, Brendo, as support.
Speaking of said free watch list, that's not it. But another option is the sticky note. I don't know why my button's not working today.
There you go.
There we go. Now it is. If you haven't done so, Sean overrode my watch list button there. Did you see the timing on that?
That was excellent.
It was.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
I'm kidding, obviously.
No.
There's the link if you need it. It's also in the description. Top link down below. We'll get you to that. Again, email. It's free. Just go do it. Why not? Let's go. Nvidia top of the list as it should be today. Couple of good, well, one good day anyway to the upside. Ended yesterday basically at the highs here. We're trying to test that right now, 182. Ahead of what is to come after the close tonight. Yeah,
it's all going to be how much we beat and how much we beat by, right? Because, well, let's talk about it. So NVIDIA is expecting Q2 revenue to come in at $46.02 billion. That would be a 53.2% year over year. The growth obviously remains robust, but is sharply down from the 122% we grew last year on the quarter. Margins beat last time as well. Investors will be focused on whether NVIDIA can still outperform expectations significantly. Gross margins will be in focus. We know that they're mid 70%, but they're dropping incrementally on every successive earnings report. So we'll be focusing on that. AI demand from Meta, Microsoft, and the other hyperscalers continues to drive NVIDIA's sales. However, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman recently warned investors are, quote, overexcited about AI, suggesting some slowdown risk. Currently, most non-mega cap buyers are still not seeing returns on their investments on their AI spend. It's really the hyperscalers that are profiting currently. NVIDIA agreed, Brendo, as we know, to pay the U.S. government 15% of their China sales in exchange for export licenses. However, Beijing, for their part, they're urging their companies to limit the purchases due to security concerns. Reports say NVIDIA halted production of its China special H20 chip, with U.S. President Donald Trump, for whatever reason, saying it's okay to sell a scaled-down Blackwell chip to China, but we all know that the regulator may not be okay with that. Last but not least here, Brendo, the supply chain and production constraints will be in focus because the demand for Blackwell processors remains very robust, but the production ramp-up has been difficult. Investors are watching for updates on NVIDIA's ability to expand supply chains to meet that growing demand.
I feel like it's April 1st because I was just reading a very strange headline from the Wall Street Journal. Apple makes music push in radio after losing ground to Spotify. Who listens to the radio anymore? Apparently there's Apple radio stations now.
Randy listens.
Randy does.
Get it, Randy.
Guys, do you listen to Apple radio?
Apple radio?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. Apple radio is great. I mean, you can, it's like live music all the time based on whatever So if you want hip hop, they just play hip hop songs for you the whole time. It's like a mixed station, but Apple Radio also has, so if you open up your Apple app, you can listen to sports radio. You can listen to Fan 590. You can listen to, Virgin Music 99.9 here in Toronto. You can do, and I only know this because the Tesla just connects to the phone, and then I open up the Apple Music app, and I can listen to so I'm listening to, when I was in Boston, there was a great radio station, and it's on Apple Radio. So I just listen to that. And so if there's, if you like jazz music and maybe there's not a good radio station, and yeah, everybody in the chat apparently likes it as well. So anyways, interesting story there, but I don't know. Just another way for Apple to just keep on climbing on top of that mountain, basically, right? I mean, Apple Music, it's all included in my package. So I think most people probably have it that way. Okay, so look, shrinking margins, I guess, would be something that we could also look at here. We know that margins are getting tighter as competition gets increased, right? I mean, they're going to have to look at those waning margins. It's not the same as where maybe we were a couple quarters ago. So we're going to look at that. We're going to hear about the AI spend, if it's still real. What does their backlog look like? What do the orders look like? So that's what's going to come through for Nvidia tonight. I actually think it's set up to disappoint, but I don't. We're at all-time highs. You're $2 away from an all-time high print right now. So that's just risky coming into earnings when you're at these levels. I just think more can go wrong than go right. So that's what I'm looking at here for Nvidia. I think 6%. I think it fades a little bit here today, and I want to buy it. So maybe it's wishful thinking to be able to get a price a little bit lower here. But we'll hear about China. I don't think the U.S. 15% tariff thing is any kind of an effect. I think it actually helps them, allowing them to get into China. So I think that's a positive headwind there. And I know that Jensen's had many meetings with President Trump, and they've been discussing something. So I expect that something to be released here tonight, whether or not Jensen talks about how happy he is with this deal about China, what he's looking forward to with these sort of lesser known powerful chips here, what that looks like. Maybe there is an order that he wants to announce with Alibaba or something like that. So I don't know. We're going to wait. But yeah, there's lots going to happen. The headline's going to be interesting. Yeah. I feel like it's not going to move 6%.
I doubt it.
But I don't know, man. I think the risk is to the downside. I think whenever you're going out at all-time highs, that's a little bit of the problem.
Well, someone's also been selling his thing every time it gets to 184 in the last couple of weeks anyway. So at least for today, I want to hear that some progress has been made on selling chips to China. The latest release of ChatGPT 5, which again, of course, gets trained on Nvidia chips, hasn't been that great. So maybe that could be another little nitpick that people find for Nvidia here, because the numbers are going to they'll be great, and their margins will probably be down, but they'll still be ridiculously impressive. Nobody does margins like these guys. But for today, it's simply 184. It's just a brick wall. It's already running away from it. So the chance to even fade off that level just doesn't even seem that likely. But in terms of chip land today, AMD had that news with IBM yesterday, and both pop and drop, both those stocks. That 169 just sort of stands out because that was resistance on Friday, and then it failed that pretty spectacularly on a positive news story yesterday. So that's a fade worth looking at here. AMD at 169 if it can get up there.
All right. I'm just reading more about this Wall Street Journal article. I'm still amazed. Anyway, PayPal to the downside here this morning. If you missed it, there's a note out of Europe, I guess, on the security side of things for PayPal. I mean, there wasn't much follow through, which I guess is a good part. If you zoom out a little bit, I mean, we're still way above some key support levels here, but German security issues for PayPal.
Yeah, that's what's being reported, Brendo. So it's specifically a German newspaper is reporting that several major banks in Germany have temporarily blocked PayPal payments. The banks cited a failure in fraud detection as well as security systems, leading to a halt in the transactions. The affected banks are there on your screen. I'm not going to try to even pronounce these German names. German Reddit users, though, confirmed they had charges denied, and they received emails about the payment issues specifically from their bank. It suggests the disruption had broad impact, Brendo, on PayPal users across the country. Should mention that they operate in over 200 countries, so Germany just one of them.
Yeah, here's what I was mentioning. Still a long way to go down to 60, 58 guys on a higher time frame.
This is maybe it's not a big deal, and it's an overreaction, but sometimes you get like a canary in the coal mine thing, or you get a cascade effect where they found something here that is maybe a symptom of a bigger problem. Regardless of whether that's true or not, I think we'll find out over time here for PayPal. It was already weak. You know, like this was not a stock. Like even without that story, you probably sit down and say sell it at 70, because it's been holding underneath the 50 and the 200. It's been slightly trending down as the market's been going to highs. This has been not participating. The rest of the fintech space has been booming, realistically, and you know this stock just hasn't been able to get out of its own way. So yeah, you know I want to look for the fade, 69 into the 70 level here today. On PayPal, preferring the short. And unless I hear something better, or that they come out and maybe reassure that this isn't that big of a deal, then a weak stock remains a weak stock. Today there's a negative catalyst. I'm going to look short. And I do think that could be something that ends up a multi-day short position if we don't get some positive news from this story in the next couple of days.
Look, I actually think I mean, I didn't realize they had this much effect. Like the German banks are shutting these guys down, and you know, how many millions and millions of dollars? I don't know. Finally blocked PayPal fraud detection system. Several major banks. So that means there's a lot of people using PayPal. Is the way I kind of look at this. That it was such a big thing that they had to shut this thing down. So I hope it was a glitch. You know, the way cybersecurity is and everything, it doesn't look like it was a hack or anything like that. Hopefully they just release something kind of like CrowdStrike when they put out that update and it sort of screwed everything up. Hopefully that is just what it was for PayPal. You can't really like the stock because it's underneath everything, but I think they're still a major player. I mean, that's what this story sort of tells you. But yeah, as Neil mentioned, I do like that canary in a coal mine thought that maybe there's more issues here. And if all of a sudden that starts in Germany, then it just makes its way to UK or whatever. If there are some sort of security glitches that someone's found out, I'm sure it's patched up and I'm sure everything's fine. But maybe there's something else there. That's the maybe that you always worry about. So for me, though, I like the long here on PayPal. I think down 2% is probably too much. I think cooler heads will prevail. So anything around here, 68, you need to dip down a little bit. But I think that's good. And then you could just play off that little low there, 67.80, when off that news. So for me, it's not a great stock, but you're down into this level here on the daily chart that actually looks like it could be a bid. But there's just so many better charts out there where you could go long. I don't like PayPal down here, and I don't think it's even really that great of a swing trade. I wouldn't panic if I was a shareholder down here. I'm fine with this move on PayPal, down 2%. If you like the stock, I think it's a good opportunity to buy it. You're looking for reasons for stocks to go down so you can get better prices. This one doesn't seem to be hurting the stock that much, and I actually think it's a story that's maybe a little overplayed there. But PayPal, yeah, weaker than expected on what appears to be some sort of a glitch there, and the government blocked it, so it's a big player, and that's the way I look at it. So I like PayPal down here. I think you can get it at 67.
I'm just reading a note on the Nvidia downgrade today ahead of earnings from Link's Equity. I've never even heard of them, but just talking about all the same points that we were mentioning, the China aspect and slowing demand, ChatGPT 5. I mean, all the reactions have been negative, but I don't have any complaints about it.
I don't think it's, well, personally, just my experience, it's not fundamentally better, but it's a little slower.
Yeah.
So
but on purpose, I think, though.
I think so,
It was more about the analytical side and the processing capabilities of it. But it's the incremental gains are slowing in each new version.
Exactly.
It's not the massive leaps that we're seeing before. But anyways, let's keep going. Palantir back higher here. A couple of days of consolidation after the move down. We're sitting 160. Number of different angles here for PLTR.
Yeah, the one I want to talk about is what Howard Lutnick said yesterday on a television interview, basically saying the Trump administration is discussing taking stakes in defense giants. We're talking about Lockheed, Boeing, as we mentioned to you earlier, but Palantir also being thrown into the mix. He noted, that a lot of these companies were getting money under the previous administration, now looking to get something in exchange for that money to put back into the pockets of the taxpayers. That's one story. Separately here, Alex Karp sold about $60 million in Palantir stock. However, the sale, according to the reports, was to cover tax obligations on newly vested restricted stocks. He still owns, Brando, 6.43 million shares, valued at more than $1 billion.
Good for him. Yeah. It's been a great year. PLTR, guys, thoughts?
Continuation long. I mean, it's it's bounced the 50. It's bounced the 50 period, and the days that it didn't bounce the 50 period on the daily, it had, I don't know where the wick went on the 20th, but yeah, it was a bottoming tail candle on the 20th and on Monday as well, where you essentially, like, you liquidity grabbed underneath the 50 on the daily and recovered. Liquidity grabbed under the 50 and recovered. And maybe it does, like, I think worst case scenario, you have maybe a consolidation type day. That's certainly possible back into this 160, but it's that simple. Like, look for the long back into this afternoon support that it had. I mean, technically 159 did hit, but I think start looking at that 160 level at least first, as the market seems to be sliding down here off the open. As far as the whole government stake goes, I kind of talked about that. I don't know that I get that. Like, it's a little weird to me when you're talking about taking a stake in companies that are growing and successful. Yeah, I don't know that I understand that one too much, but at the end of the day, I can't see it as a negative, so I don't see any reason to just not trade it as normal on Palantir.
All right, right here on the sticky note, I have it as a number one trade idea. It's a 165 long. You got a good quarter from MongoDB and Okta. I think that's helping momentum in the space. We're going to watch for that rebound from the 150 level. We're already getting that, and I think the continued support is there. The 160, 150 is where I'm sitting at now to see if we can get a long down here somewhere. But the 165 I thought was going to be a break spot. You can go find this at Trader TV, Sean. You know, it's like I'm writing this note when we're up here at 164. So I can't say 164 long, but right now I'm thinking 164 long might be pretty important. I mean, there was 165 came into play, must have been past this. Anyways, yeah, it was right into here, this area right there. So I was thinking, like, if we can break through this little top, which is where we kind of bounced around and then we started heading lower there. Wow, man, to get that day back would have been nice. Go long Palantir 142, that'd be pretty sweet. But right down there, 160 to 165. I mean, I really like that trade. Or you just try to play something around here. We just know how much Palantir can go both ways, right? Like, always getting the dump action and then getting going once the market participates. So right now, the market's down. So I could see Palantir coming back in a little bit. So that's why we sit here right now at 161 and a quarter or so to see if we can get somewhere near yesterday's close. So if this dumps down about $1, then we can try it against the 160, and then that would be that. So yesterday's low there of 160, it's not the low, but this afternoon area right there, that's, excuse me, just chug some water there. That's what we're going to be looking at if the fall continues here for Palantir, and it's still up 1%, man. I mean, it's up 1% against a strong market, so I do like the long break. And I'm going to wait for 165. Let's just be patient. We won't get in this one right away. The one that we may get into right away is going to be AMD. I mean, that's had that move down. I wrote down 168.50, but now I'm looking at this 167.50 area right here to go long if we can break back above AMD, taking out VWAP at 167. So that's going to be a trade early on for me there. All right, Kohl's is reporting apparently. They did report, and it wasn't the greatest news heading into the report, but right now apparently with a big short flow, Kohl's wants to go.
It's actually, I was just reading coming through, so just be aware if you're watching Kohl's, still might be dealing with a earnings call. Right at day highs though, so definitely some positivity coming from that 16 coming into play for Kohl's.
So clearly it was a really good report. It's up like 20 some odd %, but there was some caution here. Let's talk about how they did first and foremost. EPS 56 pennies, beating the 29 expected. Revenue 3.35 billion, beating the 3.32 billion. Double beat there. Top bottom line. Net income rose to $153 million, up from the $66 million they took home last year. Their net sales though declined to 3.35 billion, down from 3.53, with comparable sales as well, down 4.2% year over year. They did narrow their full year sales outlook. They're expecting a negative, guys, 5 to 6% drop in full year sales, with their revised full year EPS guidance also up a little bit. So they're shoring up costs. 50 to 80 pennies they're guiding for full year EPS, up from the prior 10 to 60 pennies. There is some leadership turmoil here, Brendo. Kohl's has had 3 different CEOs in the past 3 years. We had Michelle Gass. She was succeeded by Tom Kingsbury, replaced by Ashley Buchanan. Buchanan was fired after 4 months, and board member Michelle Bender now serving as interim CEO. The CEO instability here highlights concerns about the strategic execution and the governance. And Kohl's revenue has fallen, Brendo, 3 straight years in a row. It took them from a $7 billion market cap back in 21 to about $1.5 billion today. And they recently changed their vendor payment terms to conserve cash, which is typically looked at as a move kind of to protect whatever cash you have on hand, not exactly a bullish outlook, though.
The technical side of things still kind of floating in the middle of nowhere here. That's a daily chart. We're up here now, 16 bucks, guys, through any kind of recent levels for sure.
Yeah, like as you hear from Sharif, it's not really all roses, despite the fact they beat top bottom. But when you look at the price action, we did have that one outlier day where it did a morning squeeze all over social media, and everyone's going nuts about the stock, and it essentially like that 20 or 30 minutes was the entirety of the move, and it just fell for multiple days after that here in Coles. But you know what? It actually ended up still bouncing above that prior day high, right? Like the day before the squeeze, it was at 10.5. That's exactly where the stock bounced, and it's bouncing again, and now it's breaking back. The levels that it couldn't hold, which is this 14 to 14.5 area, that's exactly where we're above now. So in terms of a squeeze play, if this can just hang on to VWAP, I think it can go. So at the open, I just want to see it hold VWAP. If it holds VWAP, I'm looking long as a squeeze. But you've got to understand, this is not a report that says everything is fine at all with Coles. In fact, a lot of it suggests that there's still a lot of issues here with declining revenues and so forth. So as far as I'm concerned, this is something that I'd be more interested in trading and not necessarily holding at all. And as Sharif said, it wasn't a good look, this whole vendor story last night. But you got to look at the price action, and as long as VWAP can hold this open, I'm looking long, period.
There's some people asking right here, if you do not have Twitter, the sticky note is up here on Instagram. So just go over to my Instagram account right now, and you'll see every day we have it posted there, listed 27th, so you click on that, and then it's just a fun little AMD, Palantir, Tesla, Boeing. Then there's the note right there with some context to the side there. So those of you asking if it's on Instagram, it is. I'll put it up here. Some of you just at Trader TV, Sean. There's many fakes, so make sure you go over there and find that. And of course, it's also on Twitter, which I've been posting in the chat there. So yeah, I don't have anything on Coles. I think it's going to be a short there. You're trying to get through the 17 level right there. If you can get anything near here, I would fade that play. It's only a short because it's only a long because of the shorts squeeze that's happening right now, up 20+%, declining sales year over year, 3 CEOs in the last 3 years. Not a great company. Obviously, they're trying to get through it, but that's a huge move, man. This thing was $5 down here in the lows of April. Now you're at 15. Is it tripled? Is the business tripled up in 4 or 5 months? I think it's a little overdone right here. But, who am I to say that this short is not going to stop pressing higher, right? And so, yeah, I look at 17 and change to see if there is going to be a turnaround there. That would be another monster move. I mean, if you add another $1 to this thing, then yeah, I think the shorts and the claws will be out for that. So get ready to trade KSS to the short side, I'd say. But yeah, congratulations. It's a huge long. Anybody that took that story right there at 330, as in like Coles is looking for money, that was an opportunity because that was 12.20 right there again. But it's hard to make that play because it went all the way down into 12.25, and you think it's going to go lower there, right? And so if you played it off 11, that's great where the 200 period is. But right now, KSS, a huge move higher. I would be selling half if I was in this position, but I'm not and wish I was. So there we go. Coles, nice move higher.
And VinFast has delivered over 35,800 EVs in Q2 2025, marking a 172% jump from just last year. That brings their first half total to more than 72,000 EVs, up over 220% year over year. With stronger sales usually in the second half, they're on pace to easily double 2024's 97,000 units. They're also crushing it on two-wheelers with nearly 70,000 e-scooters and bikes sold in Q2, up 432% from a year ago. And with gas-powered two-wheelers being phased out in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City by 2026, the growth potential looks huge. You can find them on the Nasdaq under ticker VFS. And you can find us talking about CoreWeave with an upgrade. That's a stock chart that doesn't look like
No.
It's been going up very much, but could have a nice breakout today, potentially.
Yeah, we're right back to, well, testing yesterday's highs here for CoreWeave. Couple of things to note, new deal for them, $4 billion worth of a new deal. We'll get to that in a sec. But Cantor as well with a nice upgrade, going to overweight, $116 on their price target, just for the record, 94 right now.
Yeah, it was lower last week. I remember it being in the 80s. Let's talk about this deal. They raised $4 billion, as Brendo mentioned here, through a joint venture with lenders including Blue Owl Capital, Christia Technology Park, and KKR. Big one there, the last one. The financing will support construction, Brendo, of a large-scale AI cloud data center in Luzerne County, Pennsylvania. I probably butchered that, reflecting growing investor appetite for AI infrastructure projects. Unlike, though, the speculative CapEx projects that they've been linked with in the past, they did emphasize this time around the funds will be used to prudently build a long-term infrastructure. The CEO, Michael Antreter, stressed that financial discipline is a core focus, aiming to ensure CoreWeave remains sustainable despite the high CapEx. We know that they were spent, I think, about $50 billion in 2025 for CapEx, and they brought in about $5.25 billion in revenue, not profit, revenue. So, yeah, CapEx heavy.
As we have discussed many times on the show, we're all the way back to basically beyond 50% here on, this is a weekly chart, but go to a higher time frame, guys, to move up. Being faded, but $100 still seems like a bit of a magnet for this.
Yeah, I mean, if it can get there, it's going to have to start doing a little bit more than what we've been seeing. It's been an absolute nothing burger, but it's been condensing on this chart, like lower highs and some higher lows into a really tight, for this stock, tight range of $5, $90, $95. Until you're breaking one or the other, it does feel like a flat bottom break at 90, but it's up today and it's got good news. So that breakout at 95 looks prime. The last time, I mean, look, I'm looking at it here, and on Friday, I guess it was a clean breakout on Friday, but I'm remembering the last breakout I liked on CoreWeave not being clean. And so with that, I think play fail breaks on stock like that. When it shows you that, you know, it can be a good long, but if it fails to break at the open, you have to try to catch something else. So I want to look for this above 95, finally getting out of this range for the last couple of days, but I'm not going to fight it too much. There is a name that we haven't talked about that just very quickly is on my list. That's going to be HIMS. HIMS bouncing off the 200 and the $41 level, kind of trending back into the upside. It's got a 46 breakout on it here today. And look, as long as it can hold on to the prior day close area, about 45.25 or so, then I'd also look long down there. But the first look, I think, is going to be a potential breakout here on HINS.
All right, thanks everybody. Everybody with the quick follows there. Yeah, there are a lot of fake accounts, but I want to thank everybody for following. And on my account there was Tesla. We didn't talk too much about Tesla here today. I really like this 350 level right there. It was a break yesterday late, and then we took it and we ripped into the close. And right now, without any negative stories coming through for Tesla, if we can bounce into this area one more or come back into this area again, I think we can bounce off of it. So yeah, 350, anything down there. I'm bidding Tesla 350 right now. Hopefully that will be a play that we can have come through. Palantir is another one. Again, these are just all on my note. I like the Palantir trade. We'll see. That's still the Tesla chart right there. We'll see if it does want to hold that low. I'm bidding 161 right now to see if that comes in. I don't know. That's going to be a tricky one. We're waiting for 165. I'm not actually changing anything on Palantir for myself. Still waiting for that 165 break. I think if we get it, then that should be good. And it just goes back into that top. I don't know, why did I like Palantir 165? I'll relook at that. I think we went, oh yeah, it was a much further break back into here, 165, there it was, right up here. So it was this level right there that goes all the way back to the 19, so just a couple weeks ago, right into there. Those are the levels. I don't really want to play with any of these. We've already been here, 164, so let's really get going through those levels. So that's 165 coming through on Palantir. So thank you for that one on Palantir. Boeing at 35, 235 we like as well. And then I have AMD now at 167.50 to see if we take that high. I do want to give a big shout out to, first of all, our member of 43 months right now. Wow, 5 years of trading under your belt. Trader TV Live has been a part of it. $8 wins trade when started. Today I just made 3K on a trade. You are damn welcome right there. So thank you so much for that membership. 43 months. It's $5 a month. So thank you so much for contributing to that. 7K viewers and just 700 likes. Yeah, let's get that channel up like it's up and it's up and it's up. So get that going right now. We'll see how many likes we can get even here before the open. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dogtown. I mean, Obi's done a great job there. When Sean is on, we're all here for it. Yeah, well, you're here no matter what, so we want to thank you for all of that. Thanks to have Neil back. Nice to have Neil back, and nice to have Obi filling in for us as well. But those are sweet words from you, Dogtown. I hope you have a dog. Dogs are the best pets. Yeah, Adair and I talked about that last night. Adair had a fun story about her dog, actually, last night on the market recap show. And I really appreciate it. Adair told me that she had a great time yesterday. We had great conversations on the market recap show. I want to thank almost all 4,000 of you stayed to the very end, and we didn't even have earnings. So we had Okta, MDB, and that was it. And they came right at 4 o'clock. So we want to thank everybody for staying there. There it is, man. 1,000 likes already before open. Thank you so much for all of that with 8,000 of you watching. Let's now get this party started here. Neil, with only 30 seconds to go, I'm locked and loaded, and we're going to see what winds up happening. The market's
falling here, and well, I mean, the Nasdaq is falling a little bit into the open. There was an imbalance on Nvidia. It paired right off. Don't even see it anymore. Neil's still there for about 500,000 to the sell side, but Nvidia threatening to go red here as it's going to be big earnings tonight. A little disappointing. And you could be downside big time. But the bell brought to you by VinFast, as you see over there. Let's ring it right now. The theoretical bell we got going. Yeah, right off the bat.
What am I long?
We just lost 181 as we're continuing to fall here on Nvidia.
Yeah.
That continues to go a little bit lower. Shout out to you guys in the chat. But Nvidia down, Tesla breaking out. It looks like. So Nvidia down, Tesla certainly going to the upside here right off the bat. A little bit of a sell on the big NVDA. Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are getting ready for that report there tonight. So, all right, so we're long Palantir. We said we're bidding 161.25. It came in. I was like, what? I'm long? So here we go, man. Here's a nice little play back lower for Palantir. We're going to watch out for that 160 level. We never want to be, stuck with a falling knife action right now, and that's what Palantir and the whole market sort of feels like. We didn't get too much of a bid, so let's wait to see if we can catch one at some point now. We're long pretty small on PLTR right now, and we're gonna wait to see what winds up happening. So here we go. Again, make sure you do hit that like and that subscribe. Okay, here we go. Palantir is gonna go. I like this trade. Let's just wait for it. There's PayPal, man. We nailed that one right away. We were like, I think that seems to be a little overdone. It's not like it's up that much, but here we go. We'll see if we can get a little bit of a bottom pick there for Palantir and for PayPal. Other than that, man, AMD, we're still waiting for that 166.50 break, but wow, all the way down to 165 goes AMD. That was a nice move lower here. The whole markets keep going lower.
Except for
I'd watch out for this.
Yeah, well, Nvidia is, but except for Kohl's is up. It hit 1680, and Tesla hit 354 here. Kohl's, ooh, there's a topping tail candle. It's holding VWAP, obviously. If it broke out the high, that goes without saying. We'll see if we can get this one off of the volume weighted average price, but it's Nvidia, which is dropping, continuing to fade. Oh yeah, there's a nice bounce. Nice bounce on NVDA off of the 181 level, but if that's going down, AMD is too. You can stick a fork in $169. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. Going to have to look for the pre-market, either VWAP here, which is all the way up at 167, or I guess this pre-market resistance at 166.5. As NVIDIA goes, so does AMD oftentimes. And HIMS, going to have to be patient with this. No breakout yet on HIMS. It is holding a little bit. I might try to nibble if it just breaks out the pre-market high, not wait for that 46. I like the liquidity grab that we just saw.
All right, this is why we talk about, the positions that we're going to be in just before open, right? I mean, that's something that I've sort of added where I tell everybody, the pending bids and offers and things like that. And, sometimes they work out. And here for Palantir, so far so good, man. We just took some out at O's right there. We got 161.96s there. So good trade early on Palantir, but still very, very early, man. It's only 9.32. It was a great move there in Tesla, as you had mentioned. Here comes Palantir right back in, right? So this is what we're talking about. You got to be be a little more careful with these trades. And right up to 17 is the sort of the play that we looked at for coals, and we talked about that could be the fading area there. So now we'll have to wait to see if that is true or not. It looks like it may be $17 there for KSS on a great report. I mean, I guess the report wasn't great, but it's the short covering here that is getting that to, yeah, no, it wasn't bad, that's for sure. We like Tesla down there. Again, I think we could still wind up getting it, but down to 350. Let's just see where that plays. I mean, the market to go up here, we already have Palantir. So if the market goes, I'm pretty comfortable with that. We can see what happens with IBIT right now as Bitcoin's been, as I said, down 3% so far this week. Not doing too much, looking actually to break through some of these levels. That'll be about 111,500. So the high right there for IBIT hovering where we closed yesterday right now for crypto. So if you sort of think that that's going to be a long, then you can go over there and look at that. AMD, Palantir still going higher. I think, why don't we just get another piece out here in the 90s? Let's go to 88 right there, get some little Eric Lindros love if we're able to do that. But I do want to hold on to Palantir in case this market does continue to blast higher. On the day of Nvidia earnings, we are now down to 180 again as Nvidia looking lower here.
They're really sucking.
Yeah, they're really sucking it big time right here. Yep. Big time move to the downside right now for NVDA. So I don't want to say big time, but you know, it looks pretty good from 182 down to 180.
I mean,
yeah, maybe we found a bouncing spot there at 180. I don't know. I'm just resting with this PLTR trade right now because AMD's not at the levels, obviously, as we continue to move lower in this name, although it's trying to bounce. I broke down 162 as support, so we didn't get anywhere near there in case this market does fall on its face. Yesterday's big trade, though, we were looking at early was SoFi, and now look what SoFi is doing. Man, we had Mitch Hoke from Trade the Pool come on and say this was the next Palantir. That was the death kiss of it. And then now, since then, when he was on yesterday, it was about 27 bucks. You're down to 25 right now. And here goes Palantir, and here goes the market trying to break lower here underneath the 50-period moving average. I wonder if it's just a short today as we wait for NVIDIA. I mean, maybe today we're down 1%. We get a good report from NVIDIA, and we make that all back plus a little bit more. I don't know, but here we go.
Tell that to Tesla.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Tesla's not listening to any of this short nonsense, but I actually don't think the market is either here because the market just bounced relatively heavily off the open. I can tell you, HIMS didn't. We took the break. It's weird. It didn't actually break out the high when I got filled, but it did after. So I ended up with a price underneath 45.8, but it doesn't close above. So we're not really breaking out yet. Put the stop underneath the pre-market low. We'll have to wait for this one to settle itself down. But I do want to be in Tesla long. I have to get over to PayPal, because that got close. I mean, it got pretty close to that 70 level. That's where all the resistance has been at about 70 bucks. But it's already starting to curl here. Might just have to nibble at this before it gets to that 70. Looks like it's making a bit of a, I like support turning into resistance. And at the first pace it dips is at the prior day low, then I'm going to go for it here at that 46.90 here on PayPal, and then wait for the 70 to be a separate trade. We can always take multiple shots at it here on PYPL. Right now, the decision is, if there's no dip buy on Tesla, am I taking a 355 breakout?
Yeah, and maybe you look at NVIDIA.
I mean, the answer for me is going to be a no. I'm going to let it try to pull back in on. Everything else is selling and weak. I just don't want to buy any highs here. You're still looking pretty strong here on Tesla, but there's a fail break big time. See, like you just failed the 355 break. Let's see if it can now hold on to the volume weighted average price after doing that instead of getting trapped. With the market looking a little bit weak, I don't think that you want to be buying any highs early on.
All right, here we go, man. It's kind of the same thing as always. It doesn't really matter who's to the right of me. To the left of me is Sharif always, but to the right today, Neil. We'll welcome Neil back. We had a great couple of days. Obi filled in for me for a couple of days, now for Neil, as we were back into the normal plan of action today. Every single member of Trader TV Live is here. So here we go. 160.50 there. We just took another long there. Was able to get some more outs on Palantir. So it's a positive stock for us, and we don't have that much, that many outs yet. We still have 80% of the trade. So hopefully we can spike upside a little bit here. Now it's 50 cents in the money. Let me get some out. There it is at 50. So yes, man, the bangs are coming for you. again, hopefully we can get some more outs, but there was a good one. You see, it's not, if the futures blast, I know we have one here, so let's just keep on watching to see what's going on there. Eli Lilly was a great trade yesterday. Wow, now we are a $100 club right now. Whatever, it's a $700 name, but we recently bought this one right here at $639. So there it goes, man. Nice move up there for Eli Lilly today, up now 0.5%. Boeing, we said it was going to keep going, and it went down to the downside. So it went oppo right there. Nice downside move there for Boeing as it hits again. We talked about the key levels there, and potential for a breakout. Does not break through 237 today. So that's a breakout level. We can see if that holds or not. We said 235 for a dip buy. That's the 200 period moving average. That did not hold. So here goes Boeing downside right now in that name. So I'm just sitting in one trade here. I did want to look at JP Morgan. I feel like I got to go double check my account here again because I was looking to get some out at 303 on a 300 break, but we just keep on bouncing literally exactly off of 302, 301, 302. So we're going to have to wait to see if that gets going. And then Microsoft yesterday had a great move through 500, and now it's back to 501. As K-pop Demon Hunter is the most watched.
I love what they're doing at Netflix.
Yeah, it's the most watched. Well, they probably won't be able to do it again for too many things,
I think they will.
I don't know. This is the most watched movie in Netflix history. And I think it's going to be great. I think there's a lot of opportunities there. But such a unique thing there.
Yesterday.
With K-pop. You had ramen?
Yeah.
What is that from the movie?
Yeah, it's a thing in the movie.
Oh, okay. Gia's walk-up song was Soda Pop for her last game there.
One.
So that was a good one.
I'm about Golden.
Yeah, me too. I'm about Golden too. Yeah. And again, listen to it on Apple Radio.
I know.
All right. What's going on, Adara?
Keep an eye here in SATS. Nice move for EchoStar off the open. We know that they had a bit of a deal yesterday with AT&T. Then there were reports last night suggesting that Starlink and T-Mobile might be interested in acquiring some or all of the companies. So SATS, nice push. UNH also really strong this morning. United Health, in case you guys missed it, did have a pretty sharp drop into the close yesterday on some reports that there was going to be a broader than expected probe into the company by the DOJ. Right now, though, recovering pretty nicely from that drop is United Health. Back to you.
Oh, no, up United Health. Okay.
Yeah, it was down yesterday.
Yeah, it was down yesterday, but today it's looking like a
some investigation.
Well, maybe Berkshire will buy some more shares on the downside there because that 300 level looks like a big one. Lost VWAP on Tesla, it looks like, and there comes the Palantir hit 160.
Yep, it's right there right now.
Tesla's trying to hold on to the prior high. It did not hold on to the volume-weighted average price, but Palantir also just came in. I don't have my stop on Palantir. Oh, I do have my stop on Palantir. Never mind. It's locked and loaded and ready to go.
Nice.
Right, so Tesla is trying to hold on to the prior high, and then Palantir here is at 160 and trying to make a bounce off this 60 level. Market's trending down with the exception, not of much. Let's be real. I know Amazon's having a pretty strong, at least it was a second ago, having a pretty strong morning, but that doesn't look like it's even holding out those tops. So it's green, but at least kind of green. Tesla, failure. Like Tesla, a couple of days ago, well, this in the afternoon yesterday, it looked like it was pretty good. I didn't see it, but a couple of days ago, this was it was a banger long off the open. But you had to wait for it to get that move where liquidity grabbed the bottom and then came through. So I want to give it a chance to do that. As long as it's above 350, I'm only looking in one direction on Tesla. PayPal, by now you probably heard the story, whether this German bank thing is a thing or not. Selling in front of 70 has been a thing on this stock for a couple of weeks. So that's where I want to be. It just made a top at 69.6. That support turning to resistance, and as long as that holds, we'll play it back into the volume-weighted average price. So Palantir holding at that 160 level, but only barely.
Yeah, it's trying. I got some. Okay, I was gonna say I got some out when we broke, and now we're back in it. We're just gonna wait to see where Palantir wants to go from here. It doesn't look like it wants to go higher. That's for sure. Breaking. There we go. Breaking a little lower now is Palantir. So watch out now. Breaking through 159.75. That's the low. If it goes lower here, the market's not turning around. So we are gonna get stopped out right now. Oh, nope. Almost stopped out there on Palantir. So that's the play right there. 159.75 break. We came pretty close to it. It looks like it's going to test it again. There you go. Whenever you get that sort of relief bounce there off that level, you should have probably got out there in the 90s and saved ourselves 20 cents. eyelashes right there. Okay, so yeah, market going lower here right now. You know what stock's not going lower though? Google continues to rip. Right now, like as if the market's going down. Look at Google, whoops, all the way to the upside right now and looking to get going even higher. Now goes Google. So congratulations to Google shareholders right here, and happen to be one of them, so we're happy with that. Apple right now with their Apple event being listed for September something, 9th, so thank you, Sharif.
But they've got the radio. So
they do. I mean, they've had the radio for a minute, but I'm glad that more people are now finding out about it. But there we go to the upside right there for Apple. So Apple now, yeah, I don't know, it looks like it's pretty good. We'll see if it wants to hold some of those levels. But yeah, there it goes, man. You're welcome to Fav V. He's got Google. So yeah, everyone that's trading today, hopefully you have a plan of action ready to go.
I'm not happy with one thing about Google, though.
Yeah.
And I should have looked into this before. I said I was going to pay for YouTube Premium,
right.
which I did because
okay.
I just felt like it was a good value. We're going to get rid of Spotify, although I haven't technically done that just yet.
Probably
but the
good.
family plan's like almost twice as much. It's
what?
like, if you want to have multiple accounts.
Oh, on Google?
Premium.
Oh, on YouTube Premium?
Yeah, it's like $12.99, but then it's like $23 if you want to do a family plan. I'm like, come on, man.
Gotta make that money.
No, I thought it would be like an extra
yeah, $5.
$5 or something.
Well, $10. I mean, premium, the family plan, you probably get what, like 10, like 3
it's
or 4?
5 accounts,
Five,
which is
3 or 4 accounts.
whatever.
Okay.
That's more than we need, and
Yeah.
I'll be perfectly happy with that.
Exactly.
I thought it would be cheaper than that. Wow, PayPal just get the student discount. Well, how
I
am I
knew
getting the
PayPal was
student
going to be.
discount?
I knew PayPal.
How am I supposed to get the student discount? I'm not a student.
I thought your daughter was.
No, but it's.
You could probably get it.
We'll see. I mean, she's 8. I have no idea. But usually, student discounts qualify for people that are in like high school, university.
Yeah, you would think so.
You guys let me know, but I couldn't find anything cheaper than that. But Palantir does not want to hold 160 yet.
Nope.
First shot in PayPal. It went down to VWAP, but that was on the way down. I got it on the way back into the upside here, as it looks like it's trying to go. But 70 is the big level. So if it keeps on trending,
yeah,
I have to wait for that 70 level to come in. This is where it's been selling most of the time. Like, just look at the last couple of weeks. 70 is the resistance, 70 into 70.5. And Explorer seems to agree with me that you have the premium single, but you didn't want to do the entire family plan. I'll probably cop it, if I'm being honest. I was just disappointed at the cost. I thought you'd get maybe a little bit better value. All right, Palantir to me is still valid as long as it can hold 59. 160 is a round number, but the afternoon support was here. Sometimes this is what Palantir does at the open, and you want to make sure that if it's going to do that big V-shaped recovery, you look for the trend break back in. And if we're breaking down early, then it's the trend break is the only play. So we've got to look for that trend break to start to come back in here at some point on Palantir. I'm going to throw up a 1-minute chart and then work off of Palantir to try to catch this bounce.
All right, so we're into Tesla now. Nice move, so we'll get some out now. We're long at the quarters. We talked about where we were bidding. We like the 350 level. Let's see if Tesla, there it goes again. Nice move there. We'll take 50 cents now on TSLA. We said we were bidding. I mean, again, if you're here, go over to Instagram and find it right now. There's 4 stocks to trade today. And if we look over here, you're going to see Palantir, AMD. There's Tesla, 350 long. So that's what we have. And we're going to see if it wants to work there. I'll put that in the chat for everybody to go check it out. We're also on Twitter as well. You can go find all of that and see what happens here with, I'll get another piece here in the 80s again. I'm just offered 86s there, so there's the fill there. As we get going back upside, I mean, this is still 352 is where we just stopped. So if we can get another 351, 40s, let's see if we get something out there. I mean, if this does break lower, where are we getting out? I mean, what about right here? We don't want to hold it for too long, man. A 349 break there for us on Tesla probably does something over there as well. So we'll have to wait to see what's going on with Tesla down here, 349.50 or so. Would be my last kind of an area to take some stock. And then if we break through, then we're going to stop out. So 349 break lower, we'll get out of TSLA, but not too bad. So we'll wait for that one as it continues to move around. The one thing that we did not do today is this. Let's get going here and figure out who wants to trade what and why and where. So let's refresh this. All you got to do is get into the best chat, and you'll get hit whatever symbols you like here. So get into the chat and start typing in your symbols there. So right now, $OB, oh boy, right there, TQQ. That won't work. You got to put a $sign in front. And when you do, this will start to populate and give Neil and myself an idea of the names that you guys are looking at. So let us know immediately what you want us to trade, and we'll look over, or at least look at, and we will do that for you momentarily on the stream. So thanks for all of that. And there goes Tesla right now. Tesla right now, not just $1, $2 now in the money on Tesla. As there it goes, man, 352. So there's the cake right there. It's $2. It's off the sticky note. It's real and wonderful as we continue to go a little bit higher right there now. So we're pretty pleased with that one. Swing and miss on Palantir, but we ain't missing over there with this trade on Tesla. So far, so good. We make a little bit back out of that one. So far good. All right, let's go over and see what Neil's all about.
Well, we've got a bottoming tail candle on the futures, and if you want to express moves on the futures, then Canadian sophisticated traders, listen up. Beta Pro by Globex Canada has just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs, offering 3x bull, 3x bear exposure to the TSX 60, S&P, and semiconductors, as well as U.S. treasuries. And even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until end of the year this year, December 31st. Those ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure, providing performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equities. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca 3x daily to learn more. Scan that QR code. Well, we got a bit of a turn here on Palantir. I threw up the 1-minute chart so I could maybe see where this was actually catching a bid. It got 158.5 to 159 and is already turning right back around. The market has yet to put in a green, well, the Nasdaq has yet to put in a bit of a green candle. The Palantir with a bounce off 158, at least a little bit early here as we go to the desk to Adara.
Keep an eye here on ACHR. This team got a nice pop here off the open, apparently being mentioned, though, as a short by Grizzly Research. So Grizzly Research apparently mentioning ACHR as a short. Keep an eye on this ticker, guys. Back to you.
Okay.
Grizzly
ACHR,
Research.
right?
That's
all
one
right.
I've never heard of before. They're all coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah, they always do, man.
Well, at the market highs, when the market gets a little bit frothy, I feel like that's the prime time for you to hear from more short sell reports. That being said, who knows? Maybe this one is like has some fundamentals to it. Like there's a big difference between, hey, this company X, I'm not saying these guys do, company X has accounting fraud, or they're doing this with their inventory, which is sketchy, or they're just like, well, man, Palantir's PE is a little high, and we don't think that makes a lot of sense. I think there's a big difference, because if you uncover something, you unlock and uncover something at a company which is not manipulative, but maybe suggests that they're not worth what they are based on actual fundamentals, I think that's good stuff. I mean, to me, that's what you're there for, is to try to find that. So Palantir, again, off 158.5, is trying to go. It got to 59 again, and fading at 159.5 here on PLTR for sure. Like this one looking pretty good. Coles now starting to hold VWAP. All right. It's a squeeze play, right? So it's not about fundamentals with Coles, but it's back above the volume weighted average price. I said if VWAP holds, that's when we'd go for it. And VWAP has now held. So looking to go for it on Coles. It's showing you a bottom here at 15.5. 22% up doesn't really matter. It's the 40+% short float that piques my interest, and pretty much that alone. You know, declining revenues. It's not like the report was all that great, but they did beat top and bottom, and maybe that's enough for a little bit of a squeeze.
All right, I'm going to give it a go here on Nvidia. I wonder if it's just down a little bit too much here. I see Palantir's come right back in, and so is Tesla. So they're all kind of going right now. Neil's on Palantir, so I don't want to necessarily talk too much about it because he just did. But yeah, we're looking to hold some of those bottoms, so we'll see what that's doing right now. Then here's my trade. I'm going to get one more piece out here. There he goes at O's at 351s. Now on Tesla, just to make sure. It goes right up to the 200 period. And we did really good getting out, man. We got some 352s, and we have less than half left actually right now on that. So a good play. If we can ever get half out when you retrace all the way back up, that's what we're going to try to do, and that's what we did. Okay, so Nvidia is going to be my next sort of play here, as I just mentioned. So let's see if we can get just see if we can hold 179. So that's basically it. We do have these wick bottoms. It's getting crushed today, down 1.3%. So yeah, let's see if we do. Okay, here it comes back up. Let's see if we get a little bit of a ways back now. We'll get something out in the 50s if we're able to, and then we'll wait for a little bit higher, right? Just I'm always trying to scalp something out. So if that can go up, there it is. We get some 56s there on the way out for Nvidia. Let's buy the dip here and see if we can make it way back. That top right there is 180. That would be pretty sweet to get something around there. So we'll offer around the 180 marker, and then we'll see about this next jaunt higher through 180.50. But here we go, man. It's Nvidia. It's leading the way for me. Let me get some piece out here at 75. So there it is. We still wait for our 80s right now, but here we go on PLTR. Nice little trade, or sorry, on Nvidia. Nice trade there. I assume Palantir is going up, but it's Nvidia right now. We take some more out in the 70s and 80s. Let's see if that was potentially the low there. We got two longs on, and they're two rocket ships, right? They're Tesla and Nvidia. So let's see if they want to get higher here. The market's going to lead the way, of course. So watch out. Good point there in the chat, Avina. The
market's not really doing much.
It is kind of a falling sword, both of these names right now, falling knife.
Just about everything's a falling knife.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Like Robinhood's down. I see that one actually popping up a lot in the chat here. Not looking very good. For what it's worth, I mean, Palantir, it is trying to go again. I was holding some higher lows, so I was unable to get 158.60 again. Yeah, they're going through a wall in front of us, which has to happen. Studio 8 is in full effect, everybody. They're going through a wall. It should be excited. The wall is down, apparently, in front of us.
Let's go.
That'll be good. Obviously, I was just mentioning it was so
wall.
In the middle of a few thoughts here. SoFi has caught a bit of a bid. I saw Robinhood all the way down at the bottom, but SoFi double bottom, higher low. So if we are catching lows in here, this is one that for 2 days in a row now, trend down. If it can possibly break this trend, I do prefer it as a trade to Robinhood because it's still looking a little bit better. And then Kohl's, we finally got into KSS here. Hopefully it's not the kiss of death, but it's above the VWAP. It just held 16 with a nice little consolidation here. So I'm long 16s into the volume weighted average price on Kohl's, well above 16, 1607 to be precise, everybody, so don't at me. But Kohl's finally able to get part of this party. Palantir, I want VWAP on it. It's that simple. Like the market's been trending down. I'm looking for a trend break at that bottom into the volume weighted average price, which is 160.5 here on Palantir. Hopefully we trend in, trend out on PLTR and have the bottom.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough day early, I can see, but we've got it right back right now with Nvidia and Tesla. So good take there, up to 352 again. Nvidia tried to go. We'll see if it is going here. It's $1 in the money on this one, but we just topped out there at 15. So I was thinking a little bit higher. So I do have now an offer at 180.15, and then I did put something at 185.0. So to see if we can get some of these fills. But let's see if we can continue to get a little bit going. The futures do turn around almost perfectly at the 50-period moving average. Look at this thing, just follow it right down. So yeah, not great there. We noticed that probably a little bit too late. I'm going to get another piece right here at 05s. There it is. So we'll get the Nvidia out there at 05, which is working out for us there. And it's Tesla that just turned around again. We'll buy a little bit more down there at 350 and then give it a shot now. So now we'll see where we going now on Tesla as we buy some more 350s. Remember, a breakthrough 349 and we're out. So we have a little bit of ways to go on this one. We've been taking profit where profits lied on this name. So I think we've done pretty decently there for Tesla. But here it goes. There it is, another move upside. So there we go. We just got 350. What price did we get there? 350 14s, and we just got out right now at 50 again. So let's offer 91s, and there we go. We'll just keep spinning it around and around and around here today on the money side of things because it's a good one, man. There goes Tesla. That's back to back there, off the sticky note, off 350, and it's worked. Tesla, good name here today, obviously, and Nvidia's trying to go as well. So yeah, we've got some two nice little bottom picks there. I think they're going to work out for us. I know you've been in HIMS and Tesla and now KSS and Palantir. So guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. We're trading a little bit of everything here for you. That's what we do at Trader TV Live. We're trying to give you guys winning trades and winning ideas guys, and I think we've been doing a decent job so far. We'll go 2 for 3 with our lone loss there in PLTR. So Nvidia well up, and Tesla for now well up as well. But more work to be done. I mean, it's only 9:57, so let's let this market.
Palantir worked, but it broke trend. It's not going to get the VWAP here. It just came right back in. We took a couple of shots at it at the bottom with only one at that 160, but you can see off the lows, broke the trend. It's still holding. You're getting. If I go back, I used a 1-minute chart for this, but if I go back and put it to what I usually like on a 3-minute chart, let's just do that for you there. It's looking a little bit better, but it's not a compelling trend break on a 3-minute chart. Like on the 3, it's not looking as good as it was on that 1 minute, which is my go-to, the 3-minute chart. Coles, it's still consolidating over 16 bucks and wanting to head higher, but the velocity on the tape is much, much lower than it was at the open. So it was able to get it got to like 1630 or so, and you're already starting to see it slow down. The volume's starting to come out of this. So this could get a little bit range bound. And if it does, I want to go with a much tighter stop and then wait for actual support at 1550 here. You don't want to give up 3%. If it's not moving, you don't want to give up 3% if it's not really moving a heck of a lot on Coles. Still holding VWAP, still holding that 16 level. So we'll stay in it to try to grab the highs. I mean, if it can get to 1680, great. I'm going to throw an order at 42 in front of 50s, and then I'll throw one in the 70 level. Just if we can get back into that high on Coles. Remember, it was a good report, top and bottom, but overall, under the hood, it wasn't all that great. Like, it had declining revenues. There's been concerns, like 3 CEOs in the last year. So it wasn't all gravy here with Coles and changing vendors. So I think it's a squeeze play, but I don't want to get too exuberant with this name for sure. And I do think him still wants to go, but the breakout trade, like, it hasn't given the breakout. When I got into this thing, it didn't even break the high.
Right.
At the end of the day. So, like, why am I going to be into it until it actually breaks out the 46 level? So it didn't even break the pre-market high when I got triggered, which usually means, I mean, sometimes it's a dark pool wick. I think in that particular case, I just probably put the wrong stop in. But 46 is still the look for me on HIMS. If it breaks, then I'm in, and we're going to be long. But right now, we're going to Adara.
Let's go.
Take a look here at this market so far today. Nasdaq pushing a little bit lower, though, a nice bounce here off of these lows. S&P 500 looking a little bit similar, but I think definitely forming a bit of a stronger base here for the SPY than the Nasdaq. We did have some comments from Fed's Williams earlier today. Like a lot of Feds here, saying that the labor market weakness is a concern, but they still need to get inflation back down. We also have more comments coming from Fed's Barkin at 12:45, and we've got the the 5-year note auction at 1. Other than that, there's not a lot of economic data, though. Tomorrow we'll get GDP, and on Friday we'll be getting PCE. But, of course, the event everyone's waiting for and everyone's excited about here, Nvidia reporting earnings after the bell. You can check that out with Neil and myself, and I believe Sharif, we're going to have an earnings party, I think, here. So check this out, this report. Let's see if Nvidia once again impresses the market, because generally they tend to do pretty well, but the stakes are also much higher for this company, given how closely watched they are. MDB just put out a stellar report here, beating and having better than expected guidance here across the board, up more than 30%. Then we've got CoreWeave, CRWV on watch here, getting a $116 price target and overweight rating from Cantor Fitzgerald. Lots of names to look at here. Make sure you stay with us all day. Hit the like, hit the subscribe as we send you back to Neil and Sean.
All right, thanks, Adara. I'm just pointing out right now that we had to wait for a bottom on Nvidia. And my question is, did we find it? I mean, we just tweeted that out right here. Go find it. I don't have it written down. We have the Tesla trade at 350, obviously, written down there a couple times, but that's the sticky note context. We don't necessarily want that. It's right here. Had to wait for a bottom on Nvidia. Did we find it right there? I mean, there it goes, right cooking now to the upside. I don't know if we did. The market's not the greatest right now as we try to hover around the 50-period MA. We've been getting out of Tesla, and I want to hold the Resla now on Tesla. So we'll see if it wants to get going here. I have 351.80 as my next target out, and we have a couple outs there as well already. So we'll see if we can get that and go back up to the upside. But the fact is, it's not running. So Tesla had a huge move higher early out of nowhere, kind of, and we were like, oh my gosh, there goes Tesla. But yeah, oh my gosh, turns into what are we doing with this stock? Because now it does not want to go. So we're going to be careful with all of that. Our whole day really was made on this, well, it was made on Tesla, but we're trying to make it on Nvidia as well. We'll take another piece out right now at 180.15s as it's coming back in just a little bit here. So that's going to be a play for me, trying to hold out for these longs now, moving forward. JP Morgan, I do want to look at SoFi as well. That broke through 299 and now made, you know, kind of a nice recovery right back up to that level. So maybe a possible breakout here. If we can near 3 bills, 300 there on JP Morgan, that could be a trade. And then later on tonight, we talked about Snowflake coming through, and I'm out of this name. Higher than this, actually right around here, $200. I'm a little nervous about this report, but they're still up 2.5%, so that's good. And then what I talked about with PayPal, I was kind of like, I took the other way on this trade. I said that I thought that was kind of a good story for PayPal, knowing that they had that much influence. But yeah, only now up all day. We'll see if it can hold this level. I don't think it's a long from here, but I didn't think it was as dramatic as many sort of put it there. But yeah, nice move up there for PayPal. Still underneath yesterday's level, still down 0.6%. But here we go, man. It's Nvidia. So hopefully we can get a little bit higher. We're at 180.40 right now for NVDA to get a piece out there. That'd be, you know, it's $1 right now, but we're looking for a little bit more than that on Nvidia. So yeah, that's sort of my play here. And we're just going to sort of sit with it and see where we go. So it's Nvidia right now blasting higher. And we're glad that we were able to pick that up. I know a lot of you traders are probably looking at that name. So there it is, $1 and change right now for Nvidia. Palantir and PayPal over here. So yeah, a lot of different trades happening. Make sure you guys do hit the like and the subscribe. I'm trying to find where our feed went, but I think I lost it. So I'm gonna have to get that back up. But hit the like, the subscribe, and let's keep this show on the road.
Absolutely. I still see, Palantir still leads the way in terms of
does it?
names
Okay.
that you guys are interested in with AMD and Nvidia. Eli Lilly we haven't looked at. We'll get there in a second. But Palantir on the 3-minute finally broke trend on the 3-minute chart. So there's the trend line from the open. There's it breaking. Then you get into the binary trade. I'm in here. Prior bar is going to be the out. And then we waited patiently enough here on PayPal. These are both beginning with P, so I'll have to check myself here. PayPal also finally put in a trend in the 3-minute chart. And once it did, still underneath $70 resistance. So short, give it to the high, which is also the prior bar. And then got a shout out to everyone that's been mentioning Eli Lilly. Not really sure if there was anything new on Lilly, but there is a liquidity grab on Eli Lilly into the prior close and continuing its gains. Just watch out, the 50 period on the daily is right here on Eli Lilly at $751. So maybe there's theoretical resistance on this name at that particular price, but either way, it's been churning to the upside here on Eli Lilly. And the other name that was on the top, near the top of that list was Opendoor. I said I wasn't interested unless it was trading off of the 5 1/4. It got nowhere near 5 1/4 for a breakout or even a fade trade. It's getting right back into these lows. I still like 420, probably a little better than that 440 level for open. I don't know if this is going to be a big squeeze today. By this time, Opendoor has been typically over 100 million shares already. It's only sitting at 70. So this is the lowest volume open that this stock has had. I don't want to say in a while, but at least in a short while. So for me, it's going to be round 3 on Palantir. The 158 bottom has already held once. Let's see if it can start to hold a bit of a higher low, as I'd like this to get back into the volume-weighted average price here. It's always the target to be able to get into VWAP on a stock like this. And I just heard them say Boeing in my chat, in my ear here, but I didn't actually catch the story. Oh, what is Amazon doing? What is Amazon doing? Amazon is not blasting, but this is counter trend. This is probably the strongest Mag 7 name that I'm seeing so far. I haven't looked at Apple But I like it. We liked Amazon after.
No,
its
Google.
earnings.
Google's the strongest.
Oh, Google. Okay, I haven't looked at Google either. I haven't looked
By
at Google.
far.
I haven't looked at Apple.
Google's,
but Amazon's gone
ripping.
green. This has been a good one off the earnings. That's the thing. If you think earnings are good when the market says they're bad, that's just the best time to strike. Every single time. Like, give it a couple of days, and everyone said Amazon's cloud growth wasn't good enough. I don't disagree, but if they had reported their cloud earnings before Microsoft and anybody can make any comparisons, then they would have been absolutely fine, in my opinion. They just happened to report after, and then you get dinged for that because everyone looks at the comparison and says, well, you're not growing as much as them. You're not growing as much as Google. But they're still growing double digits, and double digits work.
We like Google. Growing double digits here is the trades that we're in right now. This is now, we're over $2 in the money now on these two trades. So here we go again as, yeah, we'll have a decent day after all. So there it goes. Here goes Nvidia right back up to VWAP. So we like that. That's 180.70 right now. So let's take out 10% if we can get into the 60s right now with Nvidia. And man, oh man, did we nail that bottom right there, man. 179.25. Like that's where we're long right now. It's at 180.60. And we just take another piece out there at VWAP. So let's just keep on letting this thing climb higher. I don't have any more outs scheduled for this until we get through 181. So here we, you know what? Let's not be too. Look, man, $1.70 in the money, we'll take it. So let's put an offer here around 90 for another 10% and get another piece out there. Tesla's the one that's having a little bit of a problem, but if we can get back, like I said, 351.50, which we're coming into right now, let's offer that, and then we'll get a piece out. 351.30 is where we're sitting right now for Tesla. So both of these names are nicely cooking here. There it is. So nice move there to the upside as we continue to go higher here. Nvidia's blasting, man. This is going to be a good day overall, man. There you go. Congratulations to everybody right now. Let's just do a quick little, that's the countdown. Let's do a quick little roll call right now to see who's around, man. You're riding with the Nvidia long. Congratulations, FAVSP. BTAI is looked at right here. What's up to Notorious Dinkelberg? We remember you. Gworev is here as well. Shout out to everybody that's had a decent little round here of trading. Miggity Mike here. Juan Padilla's here as well. There's all the waves. Yo, everybody, how's it going? Glad to have you as part of our team again. My man, says Mike P. DeRider. Yo, Katina Man is here. Yo, what's up? Been great AM so far. Yes, Mike DeRider. It sure has been right now as we'll go 2 for 3 right now. Enter Greensville finally, so that's really nice. But yeah, it's Palantir's the only losing trade that we had on, and it gave up 160. So bah humbug, I say to you, Palantir. But $1.50 in the money on Tesla, $1.50 in the money on Nvidia. Good so far, and I think we've done a really good job of looking at different names there. So, you know, hit the like, subscribe. We have 1.4K right now. That's great. So thank you so much for all of that. Let's keep the good times rolling there. And Tesla to the moon, man. Let's go. I don't want to get anything out of this name until we get a little bit higher, man. What about VWAP? What about up here? Let's put an offer around 352. Where's VWAP? 352.20. Let's just go there and see if it happens. You got to sort of manifest this trade to happen.
Manifest destiny.
Yeah, we'll see, and then we'll get another piece out on another piece out of Nvidia as well. The market's had a nice roll back right now.
It seems like it wants to be up from here, so you got to take some profit. I'm interested in why everyone likes BTAI. It's not usually the type of stock you guys are talking about. That stock looks nasty. Just looking, deciding if I want to reload Palantir. As long as it holds, here's the plan. As long as it holds trend here, then yes. If not, then no. Just try to keep it really simple.
OSCR?
With PLTR. No, but what's wild is this
oh boy.
BTAI is like getting smoked. I want to make sure my stop was in before I went over. These guys must have reported last night.
There was some news about it yesterday. Some sort of
because this
trial.
ran at 4 and then basically trapped everyone long and is now like an unbelievable.
Yeah, they had
short,
trial news.
It looks like. So we'll get the story from Adara here, but that's the opposite. Like you trap longs and then you trend down. So good catch. This looks like it was one of those Dumpsville stories here, BTAI. And it's a flat bottom break at $4 too. So if we get down to $4, I think this one could even see even worse. I believe we're going to be going to Adara in a quick little second, though.
So what happened there with BTAI was basically they announced they're going to be releasing some trial data tomorrow morning. So it ran not on the trial data announcement, but on the fact that they would be releasing some trial data. So always a little bit of a weird small cap catalyst there. I guess the stock gave up that move. That would be my interpretation, but I have to look into it a little bit more. I want to mention as well here Cracker Barrel. That's why I wanted to talk to you guys here initially. CBRL making a nice push to the upside. Donald Trump yesterday posted on Truth Social that the company should change their logo back. They ended up changing their logo back a couple hours later, and then Trump congratulated them on changing their logo back to their old logo. So the Cracker Barrel logo saga of roughly 1 week has now come to an end. Back to you.
All right. Yeah, thanks for all
never
that.
made any sense to me, but
the changing of the logo. I didn't even look to see what that logo was there for Crackle Barrel.
it was just
Didn't look
boring.
very good. Okay, yeah, boring. Okay, well, yeah.
But I don't understand why it even got to like people called it like a woke political thing. Like, couldn't it just be a crappy logo thing? Like, I don't know. That's what I
I believe they were mad because they got rid of the man and they made it more modern, like the stores choose. People were like, oh, they're going away from the great old country store vibe. That was my interpretation from what I read.
Yeah, it reminds me of when the Toronto Blue Jays it was like years ago, they decided they were going to go away from the blue Jay, and they just were like the Jays. And
right,
like the
Jays.
black
Yeah,
caps,
yeah.
It was just the J. I'm like, get the heck out of here with this. It's the Blue Jays, and almost every Toronto team was the color blue. The Leafs were blue, the Argos were blue. It's like, what are you even thinking about here?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know, political or not, man. It's just a crappy logo thing, maybe. And hey, you try something. I have full respect. You try something, it doesn't work, you made a mistake, you revert it, and you move on. There's nothing wrong with trying new things. As long as you're willing to say, hey, the people don't like it, and that's absolutely fine. I've only ever, I can't say I'm like that big of a Crackle Barrel fan one way or the other, for sure. I'm sure people have strong opinions about it, but I thought it was pretty bland. I just looked at it, I'm like, that kind of boring logo. Anyways, Palantir, just go back here for a quick little segment of the market. Palantir does hold on to the higher low at 150. It's actually 158.75. We're in at 59, but it just keeps on getting to the $0.50 and fading. Every time it gets to the $0.50, it fades. So maybe get more out in front of the $0.50 the next time in here for sure. It would cost, well, look, yeah, I'm sure it costs some money, but it's better than not doing anything. Like, you could have something bad and then just decide that you're not gonna, you're just gonna live with the fact that it's bad. I get it. You take the hit, you move on. It's the same thing in trading, and sometimes executives don't do that, so good for them. Yeah. Wish them all the best of luck, for sure. I want to get back over to that I almost said BBAI. No, that BTAI, because this does look like it's a little bit of something here to the south side. And we don't actually have locates, so if it does catch, like the last bit it caught, you can see at $5, it just went right back under. And when you look at this thing on the higher time frame, you got 480 that was prior support. So if it was to bounce or at least consolidate here, a pop back into 480 could be a nice little continuation short. But we don't have free locates on it, so I'll have to at some point try to pay for some in just a minute. But I want one more fill if I can on Palantir in front of this 159.50 level, which seems to be holding like an absolute brick wall on PLTR. Government stake or not, regardless of what you think about it, the morning buy the dip on Palantir is still going to be a thing. I'm not a believer that's necessarily that Palantir, I don't think the U.S. government would take a stake in them. I can see the Lockheed thing. I can get that. Boeing, whether I like it or not, I can actually at least understand why the U.S. government might consider taking a stake in Boeing or Lockheed, names that have been beaten up. I get it, vital defense and all that, but I don't know, Palantir I'm not sure is at that point yet. Usually tends to be more mature companies that you see that happen on. Not that they haven't been around a while, but a big growth name.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Like a big growth stock. I can't remember the last time I saw something like that.
Yeah, here we go. Right now.
Money.
Sometimes we just have to sit back and relax. Because there it goes, man. We've got these two trades on. We're now $4, Neil, in the money. $4 right now. A little loud around here, which is all good, man. But just glad to be back and sitting here with you guys. I mean, there's the bottom of Nvidia picked, right? There's the bottom for Tesla. I don't know if it's picked or not, but hopefully these bottoms are now in and we can enjoy the rest of our day on the long side of this trade. So yeah, we're just going to keep on. Wow, now Tesla's really starting to go. Now $2 and change, trying to break through. What is that wick high? 70s. All right. So let me just put something at 50 there. We'll put something in the 40s, see if we get out of that. Is Nvidia having some problems right now with 181? Probably not, but I'll put another offer out right there. Get a 95. There it is. We get that one out as well. So here we go, man. We're going to go 2 for 3. Yeah, so far so good. And, you know, you saw yesterday, Obi traded a couple names. Neil will trade more names than me. And we're just looking for the best opportunities. So keep it into the chat and let's see what you guys want us to vote with right now. And this is what it's been, man. We started this up earlier. Let's go have a quick little look right now. Palantir, the #1 stock, the only red stock for me today, PLTR. So we'll have to wait. Eli Lilly there as well, 0.73 up. That's nice. Up to 741 again off of great trial results. By the way, we just got that Tesla right there as well. So we props up to anybody that's riding with me today on that one. BTAI, Neil covered that a little bit. AMD, we're not in it. We're in Nvidia. Intel right now down to 24 bucks, down 0.5%. So look out now. Tesla's hopefully going to rip up a little bit more. Google continues to be the belle of the ball, man. We really love that name. Glad to be an owner there, although we did sell some. You guys know that. Rich Tech Robotics off of yesterday's little bump up there. They're up 13%, so we'll see what's going on there. SERV is there. CoreWeave up 2% on an upgrade. I didn't have that on the watch list, but it was on our watch list, not on mine. And then there's Nvidia. MongoDB, that one is the... Oh my God, trade of the day as MongoDB still up that 30-something% here as we continue to go. And thanks everybody for all of that look today. But I don't really, you know, now we just talked about being $4. Now we're a little bit higher than that as Nvidia is starting to climb now. And so is Tesla. So I feel like we did pretty good to get some of these bottoms. Tech names is what I've been trading here today. And we've only traded 3 names, 2 for 3. Backs into Greensville finally, which is nice to see. We did take a hit on Palantir, but that's all been made back now. So Palantir right back up to view up. I like this level. This is where I got out of some of our my long in the long-term portfolio right here at 160. You know, looking to get the rest out up near that 185, and then we'll play it off from there like another 10% or so if Palantir can climb that high. But again, man, thanks for all the likes and the subscribes. Keep it going. Find me at Twitter. Find all of us all over the place. It's going to be a good one. So
I saw Spark in the chat just mentioned another earnings name, Marvell. We're not done yet.
They're tonight? No,
they're tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm 90. I'm like very certain.
Good. I'd love to cover that. 75 bucks.
But that's a big one. And after they're always after Nvidia, like late in the cycle is Marvell.
Run in.
Palantir's at VWAP. That's usually where we look for the exit or the curl, but it just bounced off this 160 pretty nicely. It dipped off VWAP, bounced off the 160 pretty nicely. I'm just going to throw a trailing stop under there and see if it can't go to 161, which is where it closed yesterday, just underneath the 161 level. So it's trailing stop time on PLTR, as I did pay for locates on BTAI, which would be a name that I look for the short on. But the first long worked off of VWAP on Kohl's, KISS, but now it's breaking down. So I don't like this. I said if it's above the volume weighted average price, then I look long. It's that simple. Momentum on a squeeze name needs to be either breaking highs or holding VWAP. It broke the high early, it then held VWAP, but no more. Get away from this one until it can get back out there above. BTA is not really doing much, but I did want to jump back over to that Boeing story. Like, it's weird to me. Boeing is such a good-looking story in terms of finally making a bottom. U.S. government or not, whatever it matters. But this 235, 236, that's once, twice. This is now 3 times that we failed under the 235 level on Boeing. So I don't wonder if this pullback gets to the 50-period moving average. It just feels like that's going to be a good place to look for a swing long into the top. If we can just put in another higher low, it's primed for a breakout. And if the breakout doesn't happen today, it doesn't have to happen today. But I think disappointing. I'm disappointed with Boeing. that it couldn't hold on to that 235. But I'm now, as I said, if Palantir lost the 160, we jump out. The reversion goes to the volume weighted average price. The first time in was at 160, and that was a level that we had liked. 160 fails. It then goes into the prior low. Still kind of putting in some higher lows here. We can try to look to stay on trend. If it either dips to the bottom, we can get 58s or 59s, or we can hold above the volume weighted average price and take some 160s in there. As far as one of the other names that I liked, HIMS, still have a breakout set on it. It still hasn't broken out. You know, the one trade I took on it didn't even break the highs, and I was triggered in. Still hasn't broken out that top inside move, but nothing about it has really changed. Still holds that same bottom, still putting in higher lows. It's just a bit flat today, looking for it to break out that top, and then there's lots of room to go. But if it doesn't actually break out, we're not going to end up getting into this name.
I was going to say we have another big winner off earnings. You just talked about Marvell. We made that call at $63. We have Oscar here at $13.50. It's $17.50. Nice move up there for Oscar. I actually think there's a lot more room to run, and we're going to talk about some small caps right now with Adara.
IWM, great push here off the open right now, consolidating a little bit more. But the Russell 2000, as you can see, since that Friday push, of course, with the market on Jackson Hole, it's actually held up pretty well. This is the first time that we've actually made, at least temporarily, a high above that Friday high. Let's see if the IWM can continue that upward momentum. Now it's time to take a look here at Canada Goose, GOOS. This is not a super small cap name by any means. It's about $1.4 billion market cap. But CNBC reported this morning that the company is apparently getting some take private interest, valued at roughly $1.35 billion. As I said, that's roughly the market cap it is at now after the rally. So interesting stuff there for GOOS, roughly a 14% short float. Now for SERV, Serve Robotics, you've got a 26, almost 27% short float, $600 million market cap. This name is a constituent in the Russell 2000, and they got a price target of $15 and a outperform rating from Wedbush this morning. So good look here for SERV. Last but not least, PSNY, just taking a bit of a pulled back here, but Polestar, I couldn't find any news on this one. Nice push here, though, off the open, going from 110s to a high of $1.38. Back to you.
All right.
PSNY.
Polestar, another one of those names. I mean, Lucid's going to go 1 for 10. We talked about that. That's going to be a bad reverse split. That's not going to be good for that stock. What's good for this EV name is getting some out right here at 353. So we do take another out right there. And we do take another out for Nvidia near the top side as well. I mean, the market just turned green. So, you know, there's a lot more room to go up higher right now than where we are. But let's just wait to see how high we can fly. Another green day is always a good one. And if you're red, hopefully you're not red too much, because you never want to go without those stop orders, and make sure that you hit some of your levels. You've seen Trade the Pool here with us now for a while, and now Trade the Pool has created something special just for you, a free ebook featuring 4 proven swing trade strategies. You'll see exactly how they approach the markets and how they manage risk right there at Trade the Pool. Download it now by scanning that QR code on your screen, or please hit the link in our description. Okay, that's Trade the Pool. All right, so MongoDB, I mean, again, another great name here today off earnings. MongoDB beats Q2 earnings and revenue estimates. Stock continues to go higher here, up 31%. You know, obviously there's going to be valuation concerns with an MDB right now as far as we are up. This is part of the reason why I liked Palantir today, because I was like, okay, these names are back in favor, but not really for PLTR. But again, I still like that stock. There's MongoDB right here. Their valuation right now, 75, and it's going to be higher than that because that's probably not included what's today. So you're probably around 100 there on your price to earnings ratio there for MongoDB. But that's another name that had a great earnings story that continues to make print hopefully millionaires. I don't know about anybody had that much money in it, but somebody probably did. KSS, again, I don't know what else to say about this, but we nailed this level, and unfortunately we were just tied up with doing what we're doing now. We're $6 in the money on all of our trades, but this one we talked about 17 as possibly being the high there for KSS. So wondering if someone took that. Let me know in the chat if you did, because that's the high tick right there, $17 today for KSS. As again, they significant beat there, estimates raising guidance, but they do have that leadership instability. 3 CEOs in just 3 years. Apple, of course, today coming through with their announcement yesterday that they're going to have iPhone 17, I think. That release will be happening. I'm thinking new form factor, but I don't know. And then I just got Marissa the iPhone 16 Pro right there at a really good price. So we're really happy with that. She says it's absolutely fantastic, loves the camera, and she does a lot of work there. So I'm excited to see that. Wow. The market is absolutely, like Tesla right now is 353. I'm so glad that we had written down that 350 because that continues to blast higher there. And then GOOS, what's up, Canada GOOS? Right now you can look at it. Let's look at it in Canada. The Canadian stock here, goose.to, right now gapping higher on some interest there from Bain Capital. It also is GOOS in NY as well. So you can look at this stock really starting to blast higher right now.
Talk to me, GOOS.
Is GOOS. Yeah, what's going on with that? Okta yesterday as well on, OKTA, Okta there. Again, this is identity security, so, you know, lining up those checkerboards and selecting how many pictures have bikes in them and whatnot. Okta right there surged on earnings, strong earnings results, upgraded guidance, and a solid retention of business. Their AI growth continues to help this name Okta as their softwares get smarter, and so does the world of privacy and, you know, just making sure that you are, you know, your identity is safe and there's not some scams going through. And especially being in the ticket business recently, there's a lot of that. So there it goes, man. Okta with a nice play as well. Other than that, I mean, I think we covered a lot. I didn't know what UNH was doing. We had a story earlier. Oh, a nice battle back, I guess, for UNH. Yesterday got down as low as 294 as we worried about the governmental probe happening in there for criminal, a little bit more serious.
More, yeah.
Yeah, deeper dive into that, that's for sure. CoreWeave secures $4 billion and an upgrade there today as they get $4 billion in financing for a new Pennsylvania data center. So that's going okay. Not a huge move, but, you know, gapping higher today. So we definitely like some CoreWeave.
The fact that, like, CoreWeave, they get positive news, but the structure of that business relies on Nvidia.
Let's go.
I mean, forget about an upgrade or downgrade. Tonight, you're going to get the real juice on where future demand is going to go. Any weakness in Nvidia, I think, could be bad for CoreWeave. Margins might not matter so much. You want to hear the growth story for Nvidia and CoreWeave there. And look, this is not a stock that is always followed along with Nvidia, but in terms of like an exuberance play, it's just the AI group gets led ultimately by Nvidia. The same way we talk about cybersecurity, right? Like if one of the big names goes and you start to follow along with it. You were mentioning. How
has Palo Alto done?
No, but I was about to say, like, when you look at Pandub.
Yep.
PanW, Palo Alto.
Palo Alto, yeah.
I mean, whatever. We call it Pandub, but Palo Alto.
Well, 187.
The recent dip buys.
Let's go.
You had the dip in Fortinet was down 22% on their earnings.
What's that?
You wait like 1 or 2 days, and that was a dip buy. You had Palo Alto down there as well, and the rising tide ended up lifting all those ships. I don't know what CrowdStrike is doing though. That's sort of I think that's the next shoe to drop in the space because CrowdStrike hasn't really bottomed out yet. But if you look at it, the others have gone. It bounced a 200-period moving average. It's at of course, it's at 420. Like, why wouldn't 420 be support on even something like CrowdStrike? You can't even make this stuff up. But if you look at one by one, this entire space has been bouncing in the cybersecurity space. And I do like this look here on CrowdStrike. The more I look at it at that 420 level, it's already 10:30. It's already 10:30. Palantir. Been taking higher lows on it, but this is VWAP's a different higher low than before. It found that bottom at 58. It found a higher low at 59. Now playing it off VWAP in 160. But if we can't hold 160, you should just jump out and wait for the top. This is still ultimately trending back down. You know, like it's under the prior highs, under the prior close. I don't want to be sitting there fighting it. So we'll give a little bit back, trying to get it above VWAP. But this is the one stock. When it makes a morning bottom, you typically don't want to give it up if it holds on to VWAP. But this is looking a little bit weak there on Palantir. So, you know, unfortunately, the market got to VWAP. It got there. It gave you 158 to 160. But the continuation still has yet to happen. U.S. government taking a stake or not, I don't know how much of a deal that's going to matter at all. And just one thing on this Canada GOOS stuff. There's been a swath of companies where there's been speculation about a deal. and then where it gets priced at when there's no official deal or anything, and then where it gets priced after the speculation, you don't get much better than that. So just be a little bit careful. What was the one recently? I think it was VNT something. It's VRNT. Like this was one where I think they rugged I didn't want to say they, but it rugged everybody. That's the best way to put it. Like, is all the speculation was that, the deal's going to be in the mid to high 20s,
right.
And the stock ran to $25 and settled at $23. I did trade today to the short side once. And then the deal was at $20.50. So everybody that bought the hype of it, if you don't know the details, it's just all speculation. And if you have a good reason to guess on Canada Goose, like it's already up 15 points. I don't know what a reasonable premium would be. Who knows?
Who knows?
But it's entirely possible that we get a
higher
announcement tomorrow and it's like 10% lower from here.
Yeah.
Because that VRNT, like that rugged people by like 15 to 20%.
I took RJ Harvey at 5.
At 5?
Yeah, so it went Genty, Hampton, McMillan, Henderson, Harvey. And I'm going to wait for Caleb.
I think that's the right move.
I'm going to wait for
Harvey's
Caleb to fall.
Than Caleb.
I don't know, maybe.
I think he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's in higher ADP. That's
Caleb
for sure.
doesn't catch the ball.
I know, but I think he could be a stud as well. But whatever, I have Jalen Warren, as we talked about that. I still want to get Tyler Warren, but I have Brock Bowers in that pool as well. So I don't think there's any point in drafting another.
You're not drafting a tight. You have Brock Bowers.
But I think Warren could be
Brock Bowers
something else as well. Brock Bowers, new coach today, new coach this year. Chip Kelly, I think it is in Oakland. Yeah. In Las Vegas. I wish it was kind of still.
Whatever.
So the same thing. Okay, we did get some more out of Tesla up here at 353, so that was a good win right there for us. As we have about 25% left of Tesla, and we have about 15% or so left of Nvidia. So we're kind of watching this market to see where it goes from here. And of course, that Oscar was a good one. We have Marvell coming up very, very soon. Are we waiting to go to Adara, I believe? Then let's go over there. It's 10:30, a little bit late on this update, but Adara is ready at the big desk.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no update right now because we do the crypto now. You can check it out at 11:30 on the midday show. So we moved the crypto about an hour. Still super exciting stuff. A little bit more time for in-depth conversations. Join us there. Keep an eye here in NB. That's what I wanted to talk about. This company's called Neocorp on the Russell 2000, around a $350 million market cap. Apparently, Export-Import Bank just released this infographic to complement their critical minerals and rare earth elements essays. And they do talk about their letter of intent to Neocorp. Apparently, it's an $800 million letter of intent. And this infographic they just released is related to that investment. So NB, or I guess letter of intent anyway. So NB pushing to the upside after this fact sheet was released. Back to you.
Okay. Mongo.
It's like CoreWeave did break out after all. And
wow, there it goes.
And it's going. So it did break that 95, head to 96, and then some. This is maybe the temporary bottom could be in for this stock. What more do you have to do? It literally gave up 50% in, how long was that? A couple of months there. So it's not like it was too rapid, but that's how long it took to get there. So it took to triple up in a couple of months, and then it gets cut in half in a couple of months. There's still plenty of room for this to rally. That 95 breakout gets you to 99, 100 as resistance. So yeah, dip buy to be played. Should have had this as a break today, but HIMS actually still hasn't broken, and CoreWeave is. So it's above 95. The actual pre-market high or the open range high was just under that. 95 is just a round number. 94.75. You could pull all the way back into there and look pretty good on the trend. Yeah, it looks like this one wants to keep on going up, up, up. Something.
Yeah, it's some Cardi B song. I don't know. Then it's up, and it's up.
BTAI is just slowly. Like there's no wild pops to get into this trend, but it's just really, really slowly heading towards $4. It seems 15% down for BTAI. I keep saying BBAI. BTAI.
Yeah,
continuing to go lower in here.
We don't talk.
We don't talk about
BBAI. We talk about that at $10, not at $5. We'll wait to see where it's going right now. But what stock that we can talk about again, right there? Again, it's another one. It's the same kind of trade, but we'll hit the sirens up there because now Tesla, she be going and she's going a little long right now. TSLA. I did want to look at Intel, of course, getting that money from the government over the last little while. We'll see what Intel's trying to do with that. I still think that this has been a high that we may I don't want to say we're going to regret doing anything with it. Who knows what's going to wind up happening here with Intel, but you know, that $26, maybe the next time we see that would be an area for us to potentially get out of that stock. I do not like Intel at all, but for some reason I still remain in it. All right, so some China risks today for Nvidia. We'll see if that comes through here later on tonight. So that's going to be a big report. Join Adara, Neil, and the big guy, Sharif. He'll be in tonight to cover all of that. You only need Neil and Adara, but Sharif going to give you some excitement on that one, as well as get more eyes to cover it, more opinions. So we'll see how that goes through tonight. So make sure you join us there for that one. Yeah, look, I talked about Oscar Health a long time, like when we were up here. We were waiting for it to fall down. It did that, and then this is an earnings play that we had made. It fell into a level. So unlike Nvidia or anything like that, obviously right now, wow, the day is getting better and better here. But right there, these levels, when we fell into here just before earnings, I thought it was worth the risk. We talked about, look, if you miss, we don't have a huge position here or anything like that, but if you miss, then you're falling back in here into this 12.11 area and just hoping that we didn't break 11.25 because that would have been that, right? But right here, for about $1.50 worth of risk, we're now long at $13.60 on Oscar Health. It's now up $3. So that's a nice move there on that play. So up about 30% there goes Oscar. And then I didn't even realize, I'm going to have to check to see when Marvell reports. I think, Neil, I'm glad that you brought that to my attention.
Pretty sure it's tomorrow night.
Yeah, okay, so normally it says it on here. What's up, Adair?
Confirm it's tomorrow after the bell.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't. Normally it'll say it on here, Marvell, right away. But there it is right there, conference call. Yeah, there it is. Thursday, August 28th. So yes, sir, we like that one coming through. I really like Marvell, man. All the silicon and everything that has to be put into the servers and all these chips. Marvell, a big part of that, the deal with Microsoft as well. And this was a play that we had made pre-last earnings. Got some out in the 83 to 85 area. Now we'll wait to see. And we did that all live on the air. So hopefully that will come back in right now for us and give us a chance to get longer, but I'd rather just hold out. Obviously, with Nvidia tonight, the whole space is a little at risk, and I don't think Marvell is necessarily at too much of a risk. But right there, we have iBit screaming right now. Congratulations to all the crypto heads out there today that get to celebrate a little bit, because there goes Bitcoin up to 112.5 again. I said yesterday, man, we were sitting there trying to buy some 108s and 109s, and I actually forgot to do it and didn't. So there you go. This is why part of me thinks I need my money managed because I just have so much going on. But I don't know any money managers anyways that are chomping at the bit to buy Bitcoin. But there we go. The guy I talked to was like, he's a wealth advisor, didn't even really think too much about Bitcoin yet for them. But it is Solana. We thought we were in trouble. There it is. Hey, enjoy some fruit salad.
It is quite good.
Yeah, I have the plum here.
Cantaloupe.
I love the cantaloupe. Cantaloupe is favorite in our house.
Honeydew melon.
The honeydew is now a recent favorite of my daughter's. So honeydew is what it's all about.
The watermelon is really good.
Watermelon is one of my favorite fruits. I like green grapes. Okay, so obviously today a positive trading day. There we'll go 2 for 3, man. Okay, Nvidia's right back up here. So I'm actually going to take another piece at 48s. Yes, sir. Spin it one more time there for NVDA. And we can also spin it for Tesla. We're now 550 or so in the money overall. Tesla's still trying to go. It doesn't quite get there. I still love this Palantir trade, but it's not doing anything. So hovering around 160, man. We got out of that almost immediately. And the stock that I should have just trusted my own instinct a little bit there and hit that PayPal long right there, breaking through $69. But, you know, at the end of the day, PayPal is what it is. Again, I like the stock. STSS right now, I heard, halted. Sharps Technology. So I don't know what's going on here. Sharps Technology. Oh, here it is right here. STSS. Sharps Technology. Right here. Shares are trading higher after the company disclosed that multiple insiders purchased a combination of 840,000 shares. Doesn't seem that much.
The float's only 1 million. That can't be.
What? Okay, well, that is what it is then. 840,000 shares of a stock. Average price between $6 and $8.
But the float's only $1 million.
See, we need to get a consortium out there that will just find.
Dude, that's.
We could probably just do it with all Sharif's money, but we'll just find a stock that has like a 1 million share float, and we'll buy. Sharif will be responsible for 80% of it. We'll buy 85% of the stock.
Soak up the whole float.
Yes.
And then anybody that tries to go, like, there's
Yes,
only,
man.
what, like 100 and something left. So then all of a sudden, like that's.
Look, Sharif has no kids, no wife. He must be loaded over there.
Only go
on that side. But no, we're just playing around. There we go. But yeah, that's right. And I can't wait. I want to go to Sharif's house party when that happens. He's looking to buy. Willing to buy, looking to buy. It's still in Midtown there, Sharif? All right.
When Drake goes broke buying open stock,
Is Drake buying open stock?
No, but that's the gag was that. You don't know about this?
No.
Yeah, Eric Johnson was trying. He held he's in front of Drake's house, holding up a sign saying Drake buy open stock. But Drake was on tour in. Literally in like Europe.
He probably bought it still.
Anyways, I'm just saying, not that he would go broke buying open stock.
Going broke? Nah, no, he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Drake is a degenerate gambler though, so you don't know.
Maybe he would want to.
That's what I'm saying. This dude, Eric Johnson, might be onto something right there, but Neil's on something right now.
We're on to Woman Boss. Why? Because empowered women can change the world. And you can make it happen. The Woman Boss trains and mentors women and girls across Africa to lead, innovate, and thrive. And since 2018, we've reached over 10,000 women and girls. And your donation today can launch the next great entrepreneur. Scan the QR code on the screen now and join us building a brighter future.
Man, that plum was
and
too
we will
juicy.
go to the desk for Sector Watch with Adara.
Juicy plum.
Let's take a look at this sector board here. Market slightly green, and as you can tell, there are quite a few sectors that are a little bit stronger, at least trying to be. Technology services, what we do have weakness in Meta and Palantir, is actually generally strong. Google, Oracle, CRM, ServiceNow, and CrowdStrike all to the upside here. CrowdStrike, of course, on watch ahead of its earnings report tonight. Retail trade has some bright spots too, like Costco and Home Depot. Energy minerals green across the board here, and consumer services here. Starbucks and Airbnb to the upside, as is RCL. Now, in terms of weakness, there really isn't much. Like, when you look here, there aren't any sectors that stand out as extraordinarily weak, but there are some that have some red names. Consumer non-durables has a little bit of weakness here with Philip Morris and Nike. Health technology with a couple red names here as well. But generally, a lot of these stocks or these sectors, much like the market, pretty flat right now, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about.
There it is. That's the thing.
What's that?
God's Plan Day 2.
Oh, there it is right there.
Well, he's got to use, first of all, you can barely even see.
I don't know about this guy.
You just got to make it a little bit thicker so everyone can know what it is. But yeah.
So this is the problem. This is the problem with that trade. It's like you got guys like that. I mean, trying to do it. It sounds like it's almost like Tom Lee buy Ethereum over there. He should be standing in front of maybe Michael Saylor's pad there and figure out we could get some more into that.
The why Drake thing. That's the thing that got me. Is like why specifically?
It's funny, man. Drake is the most followed. He's one of the top followed social media person. He's a huge influencer.
I was thinking
to me it makes sense.
He should have gone to the show.
What show? Our show?
No, go like the guy's on tour. You can just show up to the show.
Drake?
And then get Drake that way. That's what I would do.
I agree with that. I actually agree.
What?
No, I agree with that. He said he's not as recognizable as Hulk Hogan. I would say that's true. Hulk Hogan more recognizable than Drake. I would think so.
By whom though? It's all demographics, man. That's all demographics.
It is all that. We were at a bar and I showed this 24-year-old and she's like, "That's Ronaldo." And then she's like, "I have no idea who that other guy is." And that was and now Joe.
Yeah.
And then we had another guy who our waiter, by the way, at that place was like, I know he's from Winnipeg, so it does.
From Winnipeg, we bonded. It was beautiful.
We gotta hate.
Shout out to the
I'll go.
man that waited us at the Earls. I will not stand for slander of this man.
Okay, he was one of the worst waiters we've ever had. By far. No. Okay, hey, if Nimitz.
That's not by far. I've had worse than that.
No. Maybe not by far, but if Nimitz in the chat, This guy, they asked for vegetarian tacos. The guy had no idea what was going on. He didn't come back and ask for any second round of drinks. He didn't do anything. He was absolutely horrible, but shout out to Winnipeg. We love Winnipeg. Yeah, he was.
I've had worse. I've had worse.
Oh, we've all had worse experiences. I mean, at least the guy came every 15 minutes, but I mean, still, at the end of the day, we were ready to drop dollars, and the guy came. He didn't even ask for a refill of anybody's drink.
But we also didn't get our orders at the same time. Like I think.
Okay, so
like
I rest.
I was sitting there
my
with
case.
myself and Andre were waiting while everyone else had ordered, and we were kind of like.
Okay, so there you go. All right, so shout out to Andre.
That being said,
Andre 3000. Right there.
I'm pretty sure Drake is, for most people, more recognizable. It's all about the demographic. 100% about the demographic. It's like that's. Have you seen this video where it's like you walking up to people in office and saying, "Hey, what did DMX want you to do after you soft and dropped?"
Right.
And like nobody, because everyone in this office that they did it was like.
Yeah, like there's 0% chance Obi would know that. 0% chance. I said something obvious to Obi yesterday.
Obi could get that.
No, he didn't know who Bone Thugs and Harmony was. He did not. He did not know who Bone Thugs were.
No, Obi can do this. DMX we're talking about. Obi, no, trust.
I will bet you anything you want that there's no way that if you say that line to Obi, there's no way he can finish it. Bring him on. Obi, where's Obi? Someone go get Obi. We have some content to create around here.
I don't know.
I don't know. He always takes a paycheck and takes a day off. So, okay. All right. So right now it's good to go. 260, 270. I kill it every day. This is what we do. Right there. No, I think it's good to take breaks is what I'm saying. Like, we're taking all these vacations. I expect Obi to do the same. And I actually hear, you know what? Let me check.
Gotta have a break.
Right now, he is in trading today, and I can tell you what Obi's been trading.
Physically in the office is the difference.
Yeah, he might not be physically in the office. MongoDB today, and Google for Obi. And good job. I won't say much more about that, but good job there for Obi today coming in. So, all right. So yeah,
I think you get it.
182. Yeah, he would not, guy. He would not get it. All right, so 181 and change right there. We're going to get out now on the 200 period right there for Nvidia. I mean, Tesla's turning around a little bit. We were able to get something out there of Tesla. So nice move, 353 and change. We'll figure out where it's going. But yeah, so far so good, man. We'll go 2 for 3 today. Palantir is the one that's got us, and I'm pretty happy being out of it. It's not doing too much. Adair gave the story that the market's pretty flat, and it is. I mean, we've been flattened out here now for almost 45 minutes right now. Just nothing happening in the Nasdaq as we wait for the big report tonight, obviously coming with
nothing bigger than
Nvidia. Do we have 2,000 likes yet? I mean, we're just killing all of these segments right now. 1.5 likes. Hit the like, hit the subscribe right there. Do it for all of us. Do it for Winnipeg right there. 1.5K. Go Bombers.
Matt Dunnigan styles? I don't know.
Matt Dunnigan? Yeah, I think he was a bomber. No?
That was a long, long time ago that Matt Dunnigan was a bomber, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. Well, Palantir just failed VWAP. The market's trying to go, but like there's distinctly different here with PLTR. Looks like we're going to get another crack at that low of the day at the 158 level. As we are going up to the desk, it's time to see how the US dollar is doing with Adara and Money Talks.
Here is the US dollar. This daily chart is still super consolidative here. Let's take a look at what we're doing. A little bit shorter term. Here's the 15-minute. Nice, actually, bounce here if you look back from Friday's lows. But let's see what we do here at this level of resistance that we made on Thursday around 98.8. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about what's coming up later this week with regards to economic data because we really don't have much as of today. We have comments from Fed's Barkin coming up at 12:45. Then at 1 p.m. we'll get the 5-year note auction. But other than that, this economic data calendar is pretty light. But if you move to tomorrow and Friday, things get a little interesting. At 8:30 a.m. tomorrow, we're expecting the GDP quarter-over-quarter second estimate there. It'll be 3.1% as the forecast. Previous was 3%. So we're expecting a slight increase here. Then if you go ahead to Friday, we're going to be getting the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, as it's always said, PCE. PCE year over year, we're expecting to be basically in line with the previous print of 2.6%. We're expecting slightly hotter than previous core PCE. year over year. Month over month, PCE is expected to be flat. And then PCE non-core month over month, 0.2%. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens here. These estimates for the PCE are a little bit mixed, but GDP looks like we're expecting a bit higher. Let's see what ends up printing tomorrow. Back to you.
All right, yeah, that's the thing. These
the
numbers.
Fed's measure, man. That's what they look for. So
what is the Fed? Okay, so the Fed earlier on was 90. Yeah, so let's see what it is. I'm just going to refresh it. So it was, 90 in the third right there. Ooh, downside right now, 88. So from 90 to Eric Lindros. I actually, I'm trying to think. Let me ask my guy over here, Joe, or maybe you too. 90 in hockey.
90? Well, no, I have no idea. No, 90?
No, come on, Randy. Not Eric Lindros. That's 88. That's 88, of course, my guy. 90.
You got to come with an easy one. That's not an easy one, I don't think. You know what 90?
I don't know, Joe Juno or something. Joe Juno. There was.
I know. Okay.
Anyway, someone in the chat will probably ask Perplexity or something about that. But yeah, I was trying to think about a 90. I feel like one of the guys on the Blackhawks was 90. But anyways, okay, there we go. So we're just going to wait to see what winds up happening right there on the Fed. But yeah, good couple numbers coming through there as well. Brett Hull, that's 16. Brett Hull. Brett Hull was 16. Unless he changed numbers playing with another team there.
Brett Hull would never change.
No, I didn't think. Yeah, some of these things you're not going to get me on, but yeah, Wayne Gretzky, that's a good one. Yeah, who is Wayne Gretzky, anyways?
I have no idea.
Okay, so
who?
Jason Spencer.
Madonna. We should have got Mike Madonna. Should have got Madonna.
Mike Modano was not 90. You're looking it up?
Oh, you?
No, I don't. Mike Modano. Mike Modano.
I would never have gotten
Tavares?
No, he's 91.
Yeah, 91. Isn't that what you said, Tavares? Yeah, that's not 90. Yeah. Okay. All right, Mike Modano, but I don't remember him being 90. Mike Modano's not number 90, my guy. He's number 9. You see, this is the thing. You ask these ChatGPT stuff like that, it's no good.
The Blue Jays trivia thing that like my wife in some Blue Jays trivia, she's like, oh, can you check the answer? And
I just can't believe I'm smarter than ChatGPT.
ChatGPT got it
amazing.
wrong. Grok got it wrong. Perplexity got it wrong. Gemini got it wrong. Like all of them, and it was a simple thing. You could go to Baseball Reference and
try tell me Mike Modano over there. These guys killing me.
Just saying. They're not perfect.
Look, here he is. Look at this. 9. Right there. So there it goes.
He's saying he wore it at some point.
Oh, well, maybe, but I mean, I'm looking for like people. That's what I was saying. Like, did Brett Hull eventually switch to something?
The way I look at it is like if I'm picturing a dude on the ice.
Right. I'm trying to think like
picture him in that
who famous at that level
at all.
But, anyways, there it goes. That's hockey. Shout out. I mean, I wonder.
Team, maybe.
Yeah, I wonder what country these guys are from. Okay, so there we go. Shout out to the lovely Canada, country of Canada. Getting cold around here now. Chilly though. Fall is my favorite season. I don't know about everybody else. I mean,
it's because of what's happening in the fall, not because I enjoy.
No, I enjoy the weather.
I'm not. It's not because of the weather for me.
For me, yeah. I mean, I think
definitely not because of the weather.
Ideally, here we'd like to have a little. I mean, we have very similar weather, obviously, to the East Coast. There, when you're talking about anybody in Philly or New York or anything, Boston, that kind of side, would like a longer summer. Like if it started in like late April, early May, and then ended now, that'd be fine. But we were getting a huge heat wave this week, and even when Oasis was here, he's like, "It's the same as Manchester." It was like cold and it was rainy, and Manchester, a great place. And Oasis, such a wicked ass concert, man. So happy to have gone there. What a great time that concert was. Maybe I'll wear the t-shirt tomorrow, but I wanted to get the hoodie, but they were all sold out of extra large. The guy's like, oh, we have 3XL. I'm like, all right,
that's not the same
you know,
thing.
it's not, it's a little. There goes, so Nvidia right now, forget about concerts when you're $1, $2, $3. We're singing a great tune here today on that bottom pick for Nvidia. I mean, the fact that we still have shares on this one, making it pretty good trade right there. So, we'll make more on Nvidia than we lost on Palantir. We will not wind up making more on Tesla because we didn't have a very huge position there. It was pretty nerve-wracking bouncing around there. I just didn't feel comfortable loading into Tesla there. Nvidia, completely different beast. Nvidia has been one of the top stocks for me since the show's inception. since Nvidia turned down to $100 stock. Like, it's just been absolutely great. Tougher to trade at 2,000, but much easier to trade down here with a 3 digits there. So yeah, no, Oasis. What's up, Adam? Adam, obviously from the great country of UK. But we did have, yeah, what's up, Adam there? But we did have a great time, and it was fantastic. I was trying to find it. It's up on my Instagram and on my Twitter. But anyways, that's Nvidia. Only 4 minutes left. I think we'll do the elliptical today at the gym. A nice little swim.
What did you guys have yesterday?
Oh, yeah, what the hell's for lunch? Great call, Neil.
What did you eat yesterday?
Thai basil beef. It was actually really good. Randy was here eating it on the afternoon show. That's how much he enjoyed it. But today, good call there, Neil. I'm glad you remembered that one. Yes. So today is basically much like the trading here today. We've got a chicken dinner winner. It's gochujang glazed chicken. So I believe it's a little hot there. I think it's Korean gochu. Gochu jang. Gochujang glazed chicken with noodles, Asian vegetables, and chef's choice salad. So yeah, if you're a fan of the Asian style food, you get back-to-back days. Thai food yesterday, and maybe a little Chinese, a Korean, something like that today. That's maybe not cooked in the barbecue, maybe cooked in a wok.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'm down with that. But again, on our plate will be salad. And yesterday we had a good little, like a couscous, like it was an orzo type dish there. It was really nice, a nice little topper to the lunch yesterday. So yeah, that's what's for lunch today.
It was more exciting than lunch. I made myself a sandwich and had ramen for lunch yesterday while doing a few chores around the house.
Korean pepper, yeah, okay.
No, it was my wife got ramen for when the kids, my daughter and our neighbors went to see the Korean K-pop Demon Hunters.
K-pop.
And one of the ones she got, she didn't realize she got like a super spicy. She's like, well, no one's gonna eat that, so you have it. It was absolutely delicious. It was so good. It's so good. And I haven't had ramen in years.
Yes. Oh, we have ramen all the time.
Oh, you do? I haven't had it in forever, but it was delicious. We'll look forward to
Kinton Ramen on Bloor Street
today. Nice.
If anyone visits here, they can take me out to Ragin Ramen, which is right behind us there.
Nice.
Although Trader TV Live picked up the bill when we had Nimit here, so
it is true.
There we go, man. Shout out to Nimit. Thanks for visiting as well on that one.
And his young man's going to school. His son's going to school in England as well. We were just talking about it.
Yep, exactly. So shout out to everybody
in the UK
going to school.
He's probably going back to school.
You don't need to go to school to be a trader, but it does help, of course, and I think everybody should go to school. My son is finishing up his final year in Waterloo this year. And then he'll be back. He's doing something. Hopefully, I think he said the winter he'll be done. Yeah, so as he was building businesses and doing all this stuff, he was also doing classes on the side. So, and that was, so I'm really, really proud of that guy. Still costing me a shit ton of money, but shout out to all of my kids.
Apparently he's doing well for himself in other ways too.
He's doing very well for himself. He gets, that kid gets around, boy. I don't know what the hell's, I don't know who the hell raised this kid is what I was wondering.
I get around.
Right there. He's doing things like Big Joe style. Big Joe style.
Baxter, do you? That's all I got to say. No shame whatsoever.
He's got confidence.
It's all good. With about 30 seconds to go, I'm staring down.
Adair made that up.
One thing, it's going to be Palantir. Palantir is trying.
It's the only way to have it, man.
It wants to go. It put in some higher lows. We're able to grab the bottom, but now you've got 1, 2, 3 times from VWAP where it's held trend. So if Palantir holds this trend all afternoon, whenever it breaks it, if it breaks it to the upside on a 3-minute, I'm going long into Palantir. We'll see what up with that. Oh, someone just said Intel's trying to go. I find that very hard to believe, but maybe it is.
Oh boy,
trying to go.
We're at the highest spot right now. The market is, because right now we're at the highest spot we've been at all day for myself here, as Nvidia's at the highs, and so goes Tesla. So again, great trading over there. We've already got it. Tesla 353 right now and ripping higher. So we definitely like those trades. All right, thanks, man. It's glad to have Neil back. All right, good job today.
All right, let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it there. Let's get it there. I was just going to look. Before everyone left, I wanted to see where the draft was at, just to give people a chance. So after me, it looks like it went Travis Hunter. And then I wanted this guy. My brother just took him.
7?
Yeah, Bluka.
Is this a super flex?
Yeah, you could do 2 QBs. I know Ward's not taking him.
Ward isn't even taking.
But I have Darno as my 3. I have Allen.
You
Lawrence.
Take 11 if he goes to 11. You can't.
I also have 9, but I'm going to see if I get Caleb there.
Yeah.
And then because I'll have Harvey and Caleb.
Okay.
And then I'll wait for 11 because I have Darno, so I'm going to pair him with Milrow.
Yeah, you got to get Milrow. That's
This
crazy.
is why I did that with Barkley.
That's crazy.
To be able to do that. Yeah, I think the thing about quarterbacks is if you don't need one, there are going to be other areas that you need some help with.
But in the Superflex, people always need a quarterback.
People are saying that this is going to be with the Triple H, Hampton, Henderson, and Harvey. Right there, pair them with Genty. They think that this is going to be the best class since 2017, where you had Kamara, Dalvin Cook, a few other guys. McCaffrey was there, but he was not in the top at the end of that year. And there was
that was Fournette. Fournette
was that was the other guy. Those were the top 4.
Yeah, everyone took Fournette first.
Yeah,
he ended up being the worst.
There was 5 there that were all good. So, all right, let's go, man. It's 11:01. Again, thanks for joining us today, and thanks for all the likes. We got a great amount of likes there, 1.6K, so that means a lot to us. We're back at 2 o'clock, so join us then. And for now, it's the Midday Show. Ciao for now.
Go get them. Why not?